It's another sun-soaked Saturday at the world's most famous beach. But are the Wildcats of Bethune Cookman relaxing in the sand and surf after their 35-20 road victory over Savannah State? We'll find out with the biggest home event of the year. It's homecoming. BCU welcomes back an old rival, Mississippi Valley State, to a sold-out Daytona Stadium. It's MEAC Football on ESPN, coming up next. And we welcome you into the world's most famous beach kickoff between Bethune Cookman and Mississippi Valley State here in Daytona. Nolan Alexander joined by Larry Wesley. We've got Jamaris Tompkins on the sideline who will join us here momentarily. Larry, just a gorgeous day for football right now. We saw some rain clouds earlier, maybe got a spit of rain. That was it, and here we go. A perfect setting for football, 85 degrees at the world's most famous beach.
Couldn't ask for anything better. No, it was so right, fast track. The rain came early, threw everything off a little bit, or maybe it made it a little much, but right now it's perfect. The sun is not beating down, it's partly cloudy. The marching cry is marching off the field, and the Wildcats have run off the field. It looks like Mississippi Valley State won the cross.
And here we go. The Wildcats come out in their Maroon Madness uniforms. For Bethune Cookman, it's new chrome maroon helmets and the oversized Wildcat logo in gold on the left, numbers on the right. Maroon jerseys, gold numbers with the soft black trim, and maroon pants. Mississippi Valley State, who will kick off from right to left in your radio dial, comes out with the green helmets, the orange V with a green and white trim, gray tops, green numbers, orange trim, and green pants, or excuse me, gray pants. The slight green piping down the side. For the Delta Devils, a rivalry renewed for the first time since 1975. On a sellout Saturday here at Daytona Stadium. Total leather, here we go. End over end kick coming out towards the near side. And it's fumbled by Jimmy Robinson. He runs back and kneels it in the end zone, so the Wildcats will have an inauspicious start to begin the ball game at their own 25-yard line.
Well, Jimmy caught the football awkwardly. He tried to catch it like a fielder, center fielder.
It's a touchback.
Just played it a little bit down to the end zone. Wisely just down to the 25, which is a really good spot to start a drive anyway. But I know he was anxious to try to get a return there. Unfortunately, it did not come to fruition.
And so we'll see this Wildcat offense that leads the MEAC in scoring at 36 points per game. The last 2 weeks it's put out 35 points. Mainly with Akevius Williams, a two-time MEAC Offensive Player of the Week. He stands out in the pistol. Isaac Washington is single tailback. Two receivers left. Now Malik Jackson left side of the formation. Cuts back to the right behind the tight end Mallard. Snap and a stretch play the short side of the field. Isaac Washington to the 25, and he's tabletop at the 27-yard line, just a gain of 2 before the cornerback, Ferry and Tony, brings him down.
Yeah, he came up really strong and run support did Tony and cut the feet from up
Tony on the stop.
Isaac's legs, and so we only get about 3.
It's second down and 7 for Bethune Cookman, who moves from left to right in your radio dial. 4 down linemen, 2 backers for the Delta Devils. Williams again sends Malik Jackson in motion. Slot motion to the right side. The snap. Williams dumps it off the flats. Caught by Washington near side 29. Gets around 35. Pushed out of bounds with a first down at the 37-yard line.
That's a flat route check down. He comes out of the backfield. Does Isaac and works to the sideline. Gets about 10 on a 1st and 10.
First and 10 for the Wildcats, no score on their first drive of the ball game. Jackson motions right to left. Shovel pitch Jackson to the far side of the field, cuts up at the 35, breaks one tackle, gets to the 39, and he's slung down there. Gets about a yard or two on the play on first down.
That's the jet fly sweep that time. We try to bring it across. They feel it really well, did Valley, and knocked us down for just a 2-yard gain. We're probing around right now, Nolan, trying to figure out where these guys are from.
Second down, 8 for the
It's second down and 8 for Bethune-Cookman here in the first quarter, 13-30. From the left hand, snap to Williams. They bring a blitz, steps out to the left, now backtracks to the 25, rolls to the near side, drop to the 44-yard line. Stephon Francois tried a toe-touching grab.
Right, tried to keep himself in bounds. It was a great throw by Givas. He broke containment, had a little pressure, and came up and found Stephon working back, but he just did not catch the football. It was a well-thrown football, would have got us about 6 or 7 yards.
And so it's third down and 9 for Bethune-Cookman. No score here in the first quarter, 13:23 on the clock. As the Wildcats turn to the near sideline and they're all Maroons awaiting the call. Ball at the left hash and VCU's own 38-yard line. Tight end receiver to the short side of the field. Two receivers split out to the right. 4 down linemen, they only rush forward the snap. Williams flushed out of the pocket to the right side. He rolls to the 25, throws back to the middle of the field, and it's incomplete at the 50-yard line. Bethune-Cookman will see a 4th down on its first possession.
Well, that one sailed on him. He's trying to go back over the middle to move on. He got pressure. He flushed to his right that time, and just an errant throw across his body, and the Delta Devils get a stop. The Wildcats will be punting this football on the first possession from our own 38-yard line, and so they look to come out with pretty good field position to the Delta Devils. Giovanni's back to punt this thing back.
So Giovanni Francis set to punt. The snap from Kendall Batt, and the righty sends a cloud-bursting boom to the far side, a little short, as the returner jumps up, leans, and brings it in at the 31-yard line. That's Bookie Chambers. Dangerous return man. And not much work there is what Terry Sims wanted. And so the Delta Devils will see their first possession with 13:08 in the clock and no score. Let's move right to left.
Good coverage kick that time, a little bit short by the standards of Giovanni, but a tremendous coverage kick. The running, we're trying to make a dynamic reception, and I thought he might just let it bounce. Great job on his part.
Here's Mississippi Valley State, over 3 overall, 0-1 in the SWAC. Its first possession. Let's move from right to left. Slot motion is Chambers. Chambers on a sweep to the right side. He's tackled by Hendricks at about the 39-yard line. Gains a decent chunk on first down.
Yeah, he gets about 6 on that first down.
Chambers on the carry.
Most people come out now 3-by-1 and the 10 personnel, and you see a lot of fly sweeps, and that's what they ran that time.
It's second down and short for Mississippi Valley State. Chris Fowler does not get the start today. It's DeJarick Bryant, number 16, the backup quarterback, who's been in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the left, that's McIntosh and Chambers. Chambers in the slot. High snap, option to the right side. He fakes the pitch to Robinson, and he's tackled at the 41-yard line by his shoestrings by Torian Williams, the defensive end. Or correction, Todney Evans.
Todney, back in the game, he was out last week for suspension after the Howard game, so he's back playing on homecoming, his final homecoming here at Bethune-Cookman.
It's enough for a first down as the Delta Devils move into the sun from right to left. 12:05 here in the first quarter, no score. And those all grays with the green helmets, the Delta Devils turn to the right sideline. Bryant working out of the no huddle. He's 7 for 17 on the year. No interceptions, 1 touchdown for 99 yards. The junior out of Mize in Mississippi. And now he moves Henry Isaiah Robinson to his right. And they can't get on the same page. He calls for the timeout with 11:42 here in the first quarter and no score between Bethune and Mississippi Valley State.
You know, Nolan, I was thinking about this because most of our broadcasts, the football has changed so much today. You know, a lot of people talk about personnel packages. A lot of times we don't get a chance to set the formation. I was just thinking to myself, sometimes just using numbers like 10 personnel means essentially you're going to have 3 wide receivers, 1 running back, and a quarterback. Now, those wide receivers can be in trips or they can be you know, 2x1 or what have you. But that's the personnel package today that most really spread football teams use their base package. If they go 11 personnel, that means you got 2 tight ends. But the game has sped up so much from years ago when people used to huddle up that as announcers, we just don't have enough time to sort of set formations. We can give down and distances, but these guys are snapping this football real quick, and the Delta Devils are back on the ball right now.
11:42 here in the first quarter. In a 4-receiver set for Bryant. And now he moves his running back Robinson to the right. Ball at the far right hash. Walks behind his offensive line center Zacchaeus Sias. Robinson back to the left. 4 down linemen, 2 backers for the Wildcats. No score in the first quarter. Snap, he keeps out to the left side with room at the 45, just the 50 into Wildcat territory, where he's dragged down right at the first down marker at the BCU 48, tackled by Ty Peters, 1st and 10.
Looks like that might have been Trevor Merritt come out of defend that in 2021. Looks like Trevor comes up with the safety position.
Another first down for the Delta Devils.
Bryant again walks up to his offensive line. To the right, now turns to the left. Robinson moves to his left in the short side of the field. Ball close to the near hash. Delta Devils moving right to left. Here's the blitz. Snap, the throw. It's tipped by Todney Evans and incomplete into the backfield.
Good job by Todney. She's a senior out of Delray Atlantic. Got his hands up in the passing lane and batted that football down.
2nd down and 10 for Mississippi Valley State as the clock pauses. 11:08 here in the first quarter.
Todney's one of those graduate students. He's already finished school. He's getting a chance to play his last season here, having already graduated as a graduate student.
Kelvin Lovett, the tight end, comes in. He's set offset to the right. 2 receivers to the left. It's Chambers in the slot, McIntosh out wide. 1 receiver way out to the far side at the numbers. McElfresh, slot in motion by Chambers to the right. They give Robinson sweep outside the right tackle. Surges across the 45. He's tackled at the 43. It brings up 3rd and manageable for the Delta Devil O.
Our defense is giving up a little much for me. That's 6 yards on 1st and 2nd down right there. So here we go now, 3rd and about 4.5, maybe 5.
3rd and 5 for Mississippi Valley State. The Delta Devils 7th in the SWAC at 24% of the year, coming off a 1-for-13 performance against Alcorn State at home. Slot motion to the near side by Chambers. Give on a jet sweep. He wants the head, bounces at the 42. At the 40, tries a stiff arm, and he won't get there as he's tussled out of bounds by Marquise Hendricks.
The ball's at the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 2. Expect the Devils to probably go here. You're too far for a field goal and probably too short to punt it away, and that's what they're going to do.
The offense stays on the field. They bring an extra tight end as Chambers techs out. It's Tyrone Huntley, 6'4", 214. He lines up to the left with Lovett. It's 4th down and 2 to go. No score in the first quarter, nearing 10 minutes. Mississippi Valley State 0 for 1 last week, 1 for 3 of the season on 4th downs.
Make some noise, Cat.
Play clock continues to tick down. Bryant working out in the no huddle. 2 tight ends to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Ball at the near hash. Slot motion by Chambers. Snap, an option, a give up the middle. Robinson gets through the 2nd level at the 30, the 25, the 20, the 15 to the 10, and he runs in. Touchdown, Mississippi Valley State on 4th and 2 from about 40 yards out.
Well, they scored first, did the Devils against Alcorn State in their last home game, and that's got to be a great boost for the Devils coming in here, coming down the football field and getting a score to start the football game. But Bethune defense has been a little bit on Yogi Jones-like in the starts of our games, giving up points.
Raraquiwe on for the extra point, and he sends it through, and Mississippi Valley State strikes first blood on homecoming for Bethune Cookman. 7-0, the Delta Devils lead here on ESPN and the Cat Eye Radio Network. Rush. against Bethune Cookman. A good start for Mississippi Valley State West, led by head coach Vincent Dancy.
No doubt about it. Vince Dancy, one of the youngest coaches in FCS football, and doing a great job over there with the Delta Devils.
Firaquive sends the pick flying end over end. Jimmy Robinson takes at the 1, up the near hash to the 5, the 10 at the 15. Robinson 20 at the 25, breaks the tackle, flag down 30, near side of the 35, and tackle from behind around the 40-yard line.
54-yard line, so they'll probably bring this back at least 10 yards.
They got 2 flags down in the play. We'll see the call from our referee, Eric Green.
Jimmy was a great return, got into the crease.
Tony on the stop.
Almost
Marcus
popped
down.
that through, but it would have been all for naught, because they're going to pick up this laundry and tell us what the infraction is.
So a holding against Bethune-Cookman, first penalty for the Wildcats in the area. And VCU cleaned up last week, just 5 penalties for 32 yards in the road win against Savannah State.
Yep, really played a fine football game. They were very sharp in all phases of the football game. A little bit sluggish so far right now, offensively, punting on the first series, and they give them a touchdown to the Delta Devils. Got to figure this thing out and get going.
9:28 the first quarter, second drive for Bethune-Cookman that looks to move from left to right on your radio dial. Trips to the wide side of the field, ball near hash. Snap and a sweep to the short side to Isaac Washington. He tries to hurdle, but he's tackled down at the 26-yard line. Gets about a yard on the play.
Good job that time by the Delta Devils knocking the Wildcats down. We ran a power into the sideline of the Bethune-Cookman sideline. Thought it was pretty well blocked, but their cornerbacks are coming up in run support really quickly.
That was number 3, Darius Staten off the edge. Jared Bochip enters tight into the right, trips to the left, ball towards the near hash on second down. Snap, play fake, Williams punks, now throws in the flats far side, caught by Mitchell, gets across the 30 and takes the defender head on right near the first down marker. Looks like he's got just enough.
Yeah, give him about 7 on that. He needed 6, so first and 10. Good job by Keyshawn, showing a lot of heart there, taking that defender on head on.
19th reception of the year, continues to lead the Cats. First and 10, BCU down 7-0. 8.5 minutes first quarter. Ball left hash, trips to the right from the Wildcat 36-yard line. Snap and a keeper by Williams to the right side, and he slides a headsy play at the 40-yard line. I believe they're going to mark him down at the 39, called a gain of about 3.
Yeah, that was a strong safety coming in there. Janetta Shaw coming up to try to put a lick on him, but he just getting smart and getting on the ground. Got about 3. Second and about 7. Live to play the next play.
The Wildcats bring in a bevy of subs in the backfield.
We ran the football very well last week against Savannah State. We need to try to do the same today. That balance we had last week was absolutely superb.
Refs have called for time. Will we have a replay here? Head referee Eric Green makes his way to the near sideline.
Well, they're going to take a peek at targeting there.
That thought came across my mind. You mentioned Shaw, the strong safety, barreling in. Williams went down.
Yeah.
We haven't been told exactly that's what it is, but Green has made his way, and now I believe he's going to put the headset on.
Well, the reason we say that because Shaw did come in like a heat-seeking missile. He led with his helmet. He did not make contact. But that's the only thing I can think that it would be, Nolan.
They haven't told us, so we're giving our best educated guess right here.
We have no idea. It's like a couple of guys decided to go get popcorn and left us hanging here.
Green now makes his way back onto the 20. Maybe there was something going on with his mic and he needed a different microphone. Those are my 2 guesses at the moment.
That's the only thing I can think of because there was no contact in that previous play.
Well, we've got a rare thing, an offensive huddle for BCU in the meantime. The Wildcats are circled up at the 35-yard line, ball at the 39. It will be second down and 7 for BCU. Down 7-0 with 8:06 in the first quarter. Second drive for the Wildcats.
Must be something with that mic. He's toying with it. Looks like he's trying to give us an indication, but he can't. Now he puts the ball in play.
And the clock will restart.
Second and 7 for the Cats.
More time to enjoy homecoming for the fans.
39-yard line.
Great crowd today at Daytona Stadium. Lots of visiting bands from the surrounding areas in the visitor side of the field. All maroon and gold down below us. On 2nd and 7, the shotgun snap to Williams, who keeps out to the left side for a fake to Wilson, and he's stopped back at the initial line of scrimmage. He'll lose 3 on the play as a Delta Devil outside backer dropped him there on the edge.
Well, Mississippi Valley defense is playing much better than I thought. They've been giving up 55 points a game, but it doesn't look like it. They're very sharp and very instinctively active to the football.
Jaminta Shaw, that was that strong safety with the tackle. He loses 2. It's 3rd down and 9. Bethune Cookman down 7-0 first quarter. Trips to the right, ball at the left hash. The shotgun snap. Williams throws a dart down the middle, and it's in and out of the hands of a Wildcat. Dropped to the Mississippi Valley State 45-yard line. It was John Thomas.
Second time we've dropped the football today. Ball right on the number. We dropped one earlier, Stephon Francois, and then now John Thomas. We're looking back into the sun, but both of those balls were well thrown.
So Giovanni Francis will be tasked to punt for the second time against Savannah State. 4 punts for an average of just under 43 yards, a long of 58.
We got to wake up because we're sleepwalking right now. Our wide receivers cannot afford to drop passes. These are drive killers.
Booker Chambers, most dangerous return man, awaits the kick, and Francis sends another skyburster. Fair catch wave for inside the 20, and it's fielded at the 18 with 7:02 to go in the first quarter. Mississippi Valley State with a 7-0 lead over Bethune Cookman. We'll be back with more here with the MEAC on ESPN and the Cat Eye Radio Network.
Wait for impact! Hunter Killer, rated R, in theaters October 26th.
We welcome you back to sunny Daytona Beach, Florida. 7-0 Mississippi Valley State has the lead over Bethune Cookman. It's 7:02 the first quarter. The Delta Devils just forced their second punt. Now take over on their second possession. On their own 19-yard line, the shotgun snap, a sweep to the right side for Harper, who jukes at the 21 and runs up between the hash and the numbers. Surges out a little shy of the first down marker. Gets about 7-8 yards on first down.
They've been averaging about 5 to 7 every first and 10 plays. Got about 8, almost 9.
Second and a yard.
Had averaged 11.3 yards per carry prior to that. It comes down, but just by a little bit. It's second down and about 1.5 yards, at most 2 to go. As Mississippi Valley State moves right to left, it's gray jerseys, gray pants, green helmets.
One of the guys running back into the back.
Direction Hendricks on the stop for the Cats.
Coming back for a second set right now.
So we're going to step aside while we get these chains figured out. 6:34 here in the first quarter. Mississippi Valley State 7, Bethune Cookman nothing. Here from Daytona. Back after this for the MEAC on ESPN and the Cat Eye Radio Network.
PlayStation.
And we welcome you back to the MEAC on ESPN and the Cat Eye Radio Network. 7-0. The Delta Devils of Mississippi Valley State lead Bethune Cookman. With Larry Wesley, I'm Nolan Alexander. For those of you on ESPN3, watch ESPN. We apologize for that clock issue. See, you've got the score and we've got the downs, but it's 6:34 here in the first quarter. So just stay with us here on the audio side. I'll keep you updated as this clock ticks down. Second down, start to go after the chains are fixed. Option short side of the field, a pitch to the right side. And not much going for the tailback, who just gets the first down with the backup tailback, John Derek Smith. Called a gain of 2, and Mississippi Valley State will move those fresh chains.
They'll move the chains and the tackle that particular time. The linebacker getting over there as usual. The tackle. Got to tighten up a little bit on this defense, Nolan.
7 tackles in back-to-back weeks for Hendricks, including at Howard 2 weeks ago, in which he only played 2 quarters. First and 10, Mississippi Valley State up 7-0, under 6 minutes left in the first quarter. From the right hash, the shotgun snap. Bryant steps up under pressure. Now he runs at the 30, spins at the 31, and falls forward to about the 32.5. Evades a sack and gets positive yardage.
Give him about 3. He had him in the back. He did push up in the pocket, showed a little bit of escapability and turn a negative into at least positive yardage.
This MEAC SWAC matchup, Mississippi Valley State and Bethune Cookman meeting for the first time since 1975. Second down and 8. He's in the shotgun, 2 receivers right, 2 left as he moves from right to left. And the Cats lean a little bit up front. It pauses the Delta Devil offense that turns to its right in the far sideline. And now the running back Smith moves to the left as Bryant walks up behind his offensive lineman, the 5'9", 180-pound junior. Nearing 5 minutes left here in the first quarter. Flags down, and Mississippi Valley State won't beat the play clock. And this team, Larry, they're in no huddle, but they're also in no rush.
There's no rush, I tell you. And there's a lot of check with me. You're looking back and forth. It's a cat and mouse today in the college games where you're trying to see what the defense is doing, and you're checking to make a line call at the line of scrimmage. But you still have that play clock, and you got to keep an eye on that and be very, very, very surgical about that.
We move under 5 minutes left in the first quarter. 7-0 Mississippi Valley State leads Bethune-Cookman. The Delta Devils face a second down and 13, moving right to left into the setting sun to our left. As the wind picks up, moves from right to left as well with this offense. Another 4 receiver set for DeJarick Bryant. Slot in motion from right to left by Harper. High snap, he looks to the near side, now a screen to the right. It's caught by Smith at the 25, runs outside the numbers at the 30, and tackled forward at the, call it 34-yard line. A good chunk of change on second down, brings up 3rd and about 6.
Nice little call there. They stuck a screen out to the right side in front of their bench, got about 7 yards out of it, so makes it a manageable 3rd down, 3rd and about 7. Good play call that time by the Devils.
3rd and 7 for Mississippi Valley State, nearing 4 minutes left first quarter. Bethune-Cookman down 7-0, showing blitz here with Deontay Mayo, Devin James, and Marquise Hendricks. Just 3 down linemen for the Wildcats, 3 receivers to the left, and a quarterback, Bryant. We're getting audibles at the line. Ball at the far right hash. Got McIntosh, Chambers, and Harper set to his left. Smith to the right. The shotgun snap. Here come the Cats. He's flushed out to the right. Now tosses it down the right sideline. Incomplete and out of bounds at the Wildcat 40-yard line, looking for the tailback, John Derek Smith.
Yeah, he was running a wheel route that time. Smith was, and got pressure, which forced the quarterback to change his launch position. And an errant throw there that gets the Wildcats, to get the Devils to punt the football away.
We'll see the Aussie punter Justin Reed, 9 punts with an average of 40 yards against Alcorn State in the last game for the Valley.
Yeah, he was one of the real weapons in that football game.
Yvonne Mitchell leads the MEAC, averaging 12 yards per punt return. This ball rests the far right hash. Snap, Reed sends a high but very short punt, shanked it to the right side, and that lands out of bounds. We'll see where it's marked. This will be great field position for Bethune-Cookman.
Good pressure that time by the Wildcat defense. Dante Mayo coming in there and almost getting that punt.
So 3:30 left here in the first quarter. 7-0 Mississippi Valley State leads BCU. Nolan Alexander here with Larry Wesley. And Wes, a non-conference game today, but the Cats come in. For those watching on ESPN, we'll show a brief look at our MEAC standings. Non-conference game here, Wes, but this does a lot for BCU's momentum as we get back into the MEAC next week against South Carolina
Right,
State.
yeah, the slate gets much heavier, as it always does when you get heavy in the conference slate. We get the Bulldogs next week in Orangeburg.
Cats 1-1 in the MEAC thus far. 1st and 10 from BCU's own 38-yard line. And we've got early movement from the right guard, Dwayne Brown, who's frustrated with himself.
Well, these are the kind of mistakes that remind you of homecoming when you don't have a focused football team. But this football team, not like the old days when you had to be on campus. We went to hotels last night, so we really should be focused after playing such a football game this week against Savannah State.
Second penalty for the Cats. Ball at the far hash of the 33. Trips to the right. Francois Robinson and Jackson. Williams snaps, throws it this way. It's caught by Francois, who's tripped up at the 30-yard line. Another solid play by the Delta Devil cornerback. That time it's number 12 swooping in for the tackle, Tracy Tompkins.
Well, they've got us figured out right now on offense. Mississippi Valley defense has really, everything we've tried to do, they've been right there.
Cats lose a couple. It's 2nd and long from BCU's own 31, needing to get it to the Wildcat 48. The shotgun snap to Williams, a 4-man rush on a twist. He unleashes a deep pass down the right side for Malik Jackson, and it's incomplete, but a flag comes in. Over overthrew his man, but Jackson was tangled up with a Delta Devil cornerback. Number 3 out on the edge.
Very aggressive play on the corner part. It was a takeoff route, Nolan, but there was some chicken fighting going on down the field, and even though the ball was overthrown by about 5 yards, the referee is determining that contact illegally interfered with the receiver's chance to catch the football.
So a 2nd and long turns into a 1st and 10 for Bethune-Cookman. First penalty for the Valley. The Wildcats now have it at their own 47-yard line, moving left to right. 2:52 first quarter. 7-0 BCU trails. 3 receivers to the left of Williams. The snap, now a delayed draw as he gives to Isaac Washington, who runs behind his right guard, Dwayne Brown, and is tackled at about the 48.5-yard line, gets a couple.
One of the things that I'm seeing right now, Nolan, is the Valley defense is playing a too-high safety, meaning they have another man outside of the box. We should be able to run this football, but we have not shown anything so far because they're playing is on the hash in that Tampa 2 coverage, keeping everything in front of them.
5 rushes for 9 yards for BCU. 2 receivers stacked on top of each other to each side of Williams. Washington moves to his right in the backfield. High snap. Williams keeps to the left side, cuts inside the left tackle, slides inside Delta Devil territory to the 46, and it'll be 3rd and a couple to go for BCU.
Well, I think that time Kevius turned up in there. He slid a little early to avoid the hit, but I wish he was kept going. We need the first down there.
3rd and 2 under 2 minutes left first quarter. Another high snap, but this play is blown dead. And Mississippi Valley State takes the timeout. It's the 2nd taken here in the first quarter by the Delta Devils. And it stops the clock with 1:57 here in the first.
Well, that's an interesting call right there. 3rd and 2, you take your 2nd time out of the half, and you're still in the first quarter. You don't know whether they had an alignment problem there, but what I was saying earlier, you start counting in the football terminology, you start counting people on the defensive offensive side. If they have more people in the box defensively, meaning if you have a safety down in the box to protect the run, then you want to throw. But these guys are showing us a cover 2 look with the safeties high. We need to be able to do a better job at the point of attack and run that football, either zone 3 inside or certainly Kevis using his legs on the outside. Into the 3rd down and 3 yards to go. This first down in the worst way.
Let's see with JT on the sideline. JT, what you got? Trying to get JT. He's having some technical difficulties. Man, I'm waving this white flag.
He thinks you're part of the band, Nolan.
It's 3rd down and 2 to go. Akeem in a shotgun, tail back to his left, a high snap, gets it down, sweep to the right. Washington, a first down and more inside the 40, run still inside the 35, and 3 Delta Devils bring him down at the 33-yard line.
That's the running that I'm talking about, because you want to make them take one of those safeties off the hash and bring them down in the box for one.
It's 1st and 10, BCU down 7-0, 1:38 ticking down first quarter. The shotgun snap. Play fake, throws down the middle, incomplete. Kevon Mitchell off his left hand to the 15. He brings that in, and we're almost tied up.
Oh, he had him open. It was a quick slant off of the RPO look with the run fake, and Kevas was a little bit high trying to hit Kevon, and he made the catch. He walks in. He had the corner beat to the inside.
It's 2nd down and 10 for Bethune-Cookman, 1:32 first quarter, down 7-0.
Just a little bit errant on that throw right there. He's been lights out the last 3 weeks, Kevas Williams.
He's now 4 for 8 passing today. Tight end receiver to the right. Wash in the backfield. Fake. Williams keeps to the left side. He loses the football at the 29. Ball's down to the ground, and the Delta Devils say they have it. Still a fight for the football at the 27. We're waiting on a signal by the referees, and now they point to Mississippi Valley State.
It was a zone read. We got a player down. I don't think it's Kevas. It really is one of our linemen.
It's Miguel Ramirez who's shaken up. Mississippi Valley State has the football as Williams tried those extra yards. He was hit, and that ball came loose, and the officials take a timeout with 1:22 here in the first quarter. 7-0. Bethune-Cookman trails Mississippi Valley State.
I think he's up moving on his own. That looks like it might be his right leg, but he's able to put a little pressure on it. working himself off the sideline right now. Been playing good football for us at the interior. Ramirez is a 6'3", 290-pound junior. Transfer in here.
We got Jamaris Tompkins on the sideline. JT, what's the status with BCU?
Russell. So, as I heard on the sideline, offense and defense have to get the momentum going. If there's too many miscommunications going on, the D-line, they're having an issue right now keeping the outside contained. That way the linebackers can spill over the top. But the biggest thing right now is getting momentum going and communication. So once they do that, they'll be able to get the game started and really play Wildcat football. That's all I heard so far. The Wildcats, they're doing exceptionally well. So just really getting the momentum up and just really playing together.
All right, JT, thank you so much, JT. First down pass is incomplete down the middle by Bryant, and it's second down and 10, Mississippi Valley State. A minute 20 here in this first quarter, 7-0, the Delta Devils lead.
Had a good drive going that time. Unfortunately, we coughed it up and give the ball to the Delta Devils at their own 29.
Bryant now stands 2 for 5 passing for just 9 yards. Remains in the shotgun. Tight end running back to his right. Now moves Chambers slot motion from left to right. High snap and a quarterback power to the right. Cuts the middle. Now near side of the room at the 35, at the 40, at the 45, the 50, down the sideline at the 40, and out of bounds deep into Wildcat territory at the BCU 38.
That's that quarterback power. We sold out that time and brought a run blitz. They had the perfect play call back against the grain. They ran the power to the quarterback away from the formation. Into the Wildcat sideline. Big yardage right there. First and 10 Delta Devils inside the Wildcat 40.
Clock nearing a minute left in the first quarter. 7-0. The Valley leads BCU. As Bryant comes up with his longest rush of the year. Prior to that, his longest rush was just for 9 yards. He takes that one 33. On first and 10, a shotgun snap, option near side, and a pitch out to Robinson, who lowers his shoulder, and he stops at about the 35-yard line, running headfirst into BCU safety Vernon Walker.
Good job by Walker coming up in there to fill the alley there on that run to get about 2.5 on that. But the Wildcat defense, we were in the feast of famine look the previous play and got burned for big yardage.
30 seconds left in the first quarter as the Delta Devils move from right to left with a 7-0 lead on BCU's homecoming. Bryant barks to his left, now to the right. Huntley, the tight end, set to the right, along with 2 receivers, Chambers and McElfresh. The running back, Robinson, offset to the right. The shotgun snap. A give right at the middle. Robinson spins at the 33, lunges out to the 30-yard line, and it'll be third down and a yard to go.
Yeah, probably third and a yard and a half at the most, Nolan. Still getting too many yards from this. End of the first quarter.
Yep. And that'll do it for the first quarter as Mississippi Valley State wins the opening quarter 7-0 over BCU. We'll be back with the second quarter with MEAC Football on ESPN and the Cat Eye Radio Network. Yes, 3 minutes.
Get up to $3,000 cash back or 0% APR on select Mitsubishi crossovers.
Drive your ambition. Mitsubishi Motors.
And we'll come back with a 3rd and 2 for Mississippi Valley State. 7-0. The Delta Devils lead, moving from left to right now to start the second quarter. This shotgun snap to Bryant. He gives to his tailback Smith, who puts 2 hands in the football and falls behind his left guard right at that first down marker, Wes.
He should be right there. They may have to measure for it. It's that close, though. A yard and a half.
Smith on the carry.
2. They're going to call it 4th down.
You go by Hendricks. 4th down. 4th down. Wildcat Devils.
4th and short. Mississippi Valley State scored on 4th down earlier. Bryant keeps the left side of first down and more as he's tackled waist high at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10. Joseph Johnson with the stop, and Mississippi Valley State has moved the sticks once again.
And they're being efficient, Roland. I tell you, they're getting it done. They're totally dominating this football game statistically with 129 yards in total offense in the first quarter compared to 48 to Bethune Cookman. Doesn't look like an 0-3 football team. They're playing really well.
Head coach Terry Sims for Bethune even said in the middle of the week, this is a team that's got talent, just hasn't had breaks this year. 1st and 10 inside the Wildcat 20. The shotgun snap, sweep to the short side of Chambers at the 15. The 10, Chambers at the 5, and skirts out of bounds with a 1st and goal for the Valley.
Give him a 4-yard line where I'm marking it right here. They're sitting at about the 4 on that swing. So we've been having trouble with that containment, as JT mentioned on the sideline report, getting outside of us.
This will be the 8th play of the Delta Devil drive. But now the sun of the Valley's backs moving from left to right, up 7-0 early on in the second quarter. The Delta Devils are 10th in the SWAC in red zone offense. Just 2 of 4 in scoring opportunities. Bryant's in the shotgun, tied into the left, Robinson tailback right. This snap and a veer read to the outside. He gives to Robinson, who stopped at the 3-yard line, just a gain of maybe a yard on the play. He's met by a pair of Wildcats on the edge.
Good job that time by the tackles on the inside right there. Uriah Gilbert holding his ground. The real issue has been the quarterback's legs getting outside of that containment for us, and they've done a great job with the Jared Bryant using his feet.
Hendricks and Titus Curry on the stop. It's 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line. Left hash, the shotgun snap, and he gives to Robinson through the right side. In the middle, the Wildcat defense plugs him up. Gain of maybe a yard on the play as Kevin Thompson and Jerome Howard stop his tracks.
Good job at the point of attack by the Cats that time, trying to bow their backs up and deny the touchdown here by the Delta Devils. It's still 3rd down, though. About 2, maybe 3 yards needed for the 1st and 10. Goal to go.
3rd and goal for Mississippi Valley State, who is 0 of 3 on 3rd downs thus far. Nearing 12 minutes left in the first half. 7-0 the Delta Devils.
Well, the quarterback has been the answer on these plays early. Let's see what they go to now.
The big back, John Derek Smith, to his left in the shotgun. Slot motion right to left by Chambers. This snap, Bryant keeps the left side, pitches to Chambers at the 1, and he's twisted into the end zone. Touchdown, Mississippi Valley State on 3rd and goal.
Well, they run a quick option out there on us that time and get the corner, get the edge set. Just like that, the Delta Devils shockingly go up 13-0 pending the PAT.
It's the first rushing score for Booker Chambers, the senior out of Greenwood, Mississippi. And the Delta Devils take a 13-0 lead with 11:52 here in the second quarter.
Not exactly how we drew it up for homecoming 2018. A lot of football left, but we got to wake up.
Ruben Piraquibe, the redshirt junior, making his homecoming from Doral, Florida, with a PAT, and he sends it true. And the Delta Devils lead 14-0, 11:52 in the second quarter. We'll be back to Daytona with the MEAC Football on ESPN and the Cat-Eye Radio Network.
The all-new Acura RDX with ELS Studio 3D sound.
Mississippi Valley State goes 10 plays for 71 yards and extends its lead to 14-0 over Bethune Cookman, 11:52 in the second quarter. Nolan Alexander, Larry Wesley, Jamarius Tompkins on the sidelines. West, an impressive drive for Mississippi Valley State.
No doubt about it, and a guy who's been really a thorn in our side has been the quarterback, Jared Bryant. He made excellent choices in the wonderful he's get ball handling, getting the ball back quick option play, touchdown. We've got to solve this riddle. We cannot afford to go down much more than 14 right now.
And the kick, a line drive, bounces near side of the 25 into the hands of an up back at the 15-yard line. Gets across the 30 and spins out to the 35-yard line. Good starting field position with Joseph Johnson on the return for the Maroon and Gold.
Good job by Joe.
Joseph Johnson on the return, okay.
Picking it up on the short bounce. They didn't want to keep
Now
it.
Derek Smith taking the second.
Certain most people around the country have found out about kick return prowess, and so the Delta Devils opting to bounce that football after Jimmy almost broke the previous return.
So here comes the Wildcat offense looking for its first score of the afternoon, down 14-0, under 12 minutes left in the second quarter from the near hash, moving right to left. Ismay, the tailback, flat motion to the right. Snap, quarterback power by Williams across the 35, runs to the 40 and down to the 45-yard line. The spot is about for 10.5 yards. 1st and 10, Bethune Cookman.
Much as I said last week, Nolan, I think Keithus Williams' legs are going to be critical in us getting back in this football game. the way that they're playing us, he's going to have to use his wheels.
Trips to the right of the formation, ball in the center of the field of the 45. A high snap to Williams. He picks it up, runs out to the near side, throws incomplete to Malik Jackson, the 50-yard line.
Well, we were able to corral that high snap, and then Devers rolled across to his right there and actually bounced that to Malik. Didn't get a chance to really get that football to him on the outside. He had a soft corner, did Malik, and might have had about 7 yards on that.
It's second down and 10, 11-16 here in the second quarter, and we've got some static emitting out of that scoreboard. Now, you just heard in our crowd mic, I dialed it down, but that's coming through the feed, and the refs have paused play.
Yeah, it's not been a very auspicious beginning for homecoming. Let's hope things get better here in Daytona Beach.
Yeah, you can tell we're still having it. 14-0 Mississippi Valley State leads Bethune Cookman in this non-conference game. And a well-attended homecoming 2018 for the Wildcats, trying to put a dent on the scoreboard here early on in the second quarter. Second down and 10 from their own 45. The shotgun snap to Williams. Steps up, unleashes a deep pass down the right side. Kevon Mitchell brings it at the 10, sheds a tackler. Touchdown, maroon and gold from 55 yards out. Kevon Mitchell makes it a 14-6 game, 11:06 second quarter.
And the coverage was outstanding by Dominique Shelton. He's looking around. How did he catch that football? Well-thrown football on a deep post, late development, going into that second window of passing, and well thrown by Kevon. Great catch that time by Kevon.
Kevon Mitchell's 5th receiving score of the year. He had 2 last week and picks up where he left off on his 2nd reception of the day. And the 11th touchdown pass from the redshirt junior from Madison, Florida. Ariel Hernandez on for the extra point. Snap, the hold, and his kick splits the pillars. So 11:06 left in this second quarter, and Bethune-Cookman has answered the score. 14-7, the Valley leads here with the MEAC Football and ESPN and the network. Replays 65 yards, and Kevon Mitchell's 5th receiving score of the year makes it a 14-7 lead from Mississippi Valley State. And Johnny Francis will kick off the Delta Devils from right to left. Big strike there, Larry Wesley.
Yeah, big chunk play, and we needed it big time to get us back in the game, to get this crowd jacked up for homecoming.
High end over end kick by Francis, fielded by Chambers 2 yards deep, brings it up to 5. At the 10, Chambers at the 15, he jukes to his right, now runs to the left of the flag down. He stood up at the 17 and buried backwards to the 15.
That's going to be a block in the back. We get it down to about the 17, so you figure 10 yards from there, they're going to put him in a bad situation for the Delta Valley. They get this down inside the 10-yard line. Trying to set Delta Devils.
Yep, and we'll pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the Cat Eye Radio Network. Cat Eye Radio Network, appreciate you joining us. For those on Watch ESPN, you see Mississippi Valley State penalized for the second time this afternoon. And now, Larry, a possible change in momentum here. The Wildcats had the deep strike to Kevon Mitchell from 55 yards out, and now Mississippi Valley State will be backed up with a first down inside its own 10-yard line.
Well, we got to find a way to slow these guys down offensively, because they have made good yardage on 1st and 10. Running the football, and as I said before, their quarterback, who is listed, Jared Bryant, as an athlete instead of a quarterback, he's showing that today and more. He had 10 rushes for 8 yards in his last game. Much more here. The snap. He runs back in the end zone, flush to the right, now to the left. He throws a deep pass down the left sideline. It's tipped and nearly intercepted out of bounds. It was caught off the tip out of bounds by Ty Peters, but he was about a half a yard to a yard deep into that white paint. Yeah, we had a lot happening on that play, Nolan, because of almost a safety back there, and then we get a tip football, but fortunately not enough field position there. We come down with it in front of the Mississippi State Valley bench. Second pass breakup credited to Ty Peters this season for the junior transfer out of Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. It's second down and 10 for the Delta Devils, moving from left to right, 10:49 second quarter. Delta Devils lead it 14-7.
son of the Mississippi State Valley Bats. Chambers motions from right to left. They give it to him, sweep to the far side. Hendricks is there to greet him for a loss inside the 5-yard line.
That looks like the Wildcat defense I've been seeing lately. Johnny on the spot, the guy who was becoming a legend in his own time, and that's Marquise Hendricks. He is just an active kind of linebacker, sideline to sideline. If you stay on the football field, he'll find you.
7th tackle for a loss for Hendricks, and it's 3rd down and 13 for the Delta Devils, nearing 10 minutes left in the second quarter. Back in their own end zone to our left at the 5-yard line. As Bryant works out of this no huddle, 4-down lineman for the Cats. Backers show blitz up the middle. Running back Robinson to his left. Tight end receiver to the left. This snap they give to Robinson up the middle. And the Wildcat right side of the defensive line halts and then piles him on back near the initial line of scrimmage. Called a gain of about 2 yards. It's 4th down and 10.5.
Good job by that Wildcat defense pinning the Devils back inside of the 10-yard line following the kickoff with the penalty. And we stand a chance to possibly get good field position here. We got Kevon back at about the 45, and let's see where this thing goes.
Justin Reed, the punter, stands back in his own end zone. He averages just under 40 yards per punt this year. Kevon Mitchell, who leads the MEAC with 12 yards on average, awaits at the Mississippi Valley State 41. Snap, the punt, low and short. Mitchell runs up, bounces at the 34, turns to the right, back to the middle of the field. The Wildcats dance away, and the Delta Devils down at the 32, where the Wildcats will go to work with great starting field position, and will come back as BCU tries to tie it. 9:13 second quarter. Mississippi Valley State leads 14-7 here on ESPN and the Cat Eye Radio Network. And here we go, 1st and 10, Bethune Cookman, 9:13 in the second quarter, down 14-7. Akevius Williams at the Delta Devil 32 in an empty set. The shotgun snap, clean pocket, throws down the middle, high pass, tipped and incomplete at the 28-yard line, looking for a crossing route with Stephon Francois.
And the ball was a little high. Akevius, he's there. His passes have been sailing a little more today than they have in the past couple of weeks. Catchable ball, but should have been better placement on that football.
2nd down and 10 for the Wildcats. Look to drive in the end zone to our left with the sun setting that way. Drips to the left for Williams. One receiver to the right, Kevon Mitchell. Tailback offset to the left, the shotgun snap. Williams throws far side, incomplete behind Mitchell, who was running straight up the sideline at the 20, and Williams threw it at the sticks about 3 yards behind him.
Miscommunication there, unless that was supposed to be a back shoulder fade. Nothing close on that one. So now we got a great sharp field right here at the 32-yard line, but we've not done anything with the first 2 plays.
3rd and 10 for Bethune Cookman, 9:03. Here in the second quarter as the Cats trail 14-7. Williams in the shotgun. Jimmy Robinson has moved in the backfield. Tailback set to the right. Mitchell receiver right. And then he flares out John Thomas, Francois, and Malik Jackson to his left. 4-down lineman, the snap. Williams on a deep drop. He throws towards the left side, incomplete over the head of everyone as it lands at the 10 and bounces well past the end zone. 4th and 10 now.
Well, I think you keep your offense on the football field, pushing and shoving going on right there with the lineman. But no question about it, homecoming does get the juices flowing. And I think right now Akevius is just a little bit amped up with his throws. Everything's been somewhat high. As I said, that's a sign of not following through. The ball will sail on you if your form is not really good that time. I would love to have seen him go to Jimmy out in the flat, out of the backfield with one guy to beat. You got to put that ball in Jimmy's
He's
hand.
5 for 13 passing now for 71 yards. Offense stays in the field on 4th down and 10 in an empty set, needing to get to the Delta Devil 22. The snap to Williams, a 4-man rush. He steps up out of a sack, runs to his left, now tucks to the 35 at the 30. It falls forward right near the 1st down marker. Spot looks to be a yard past the sticks, an 11-yard rush and a 1st and 10.
Good job by Jimmy that time. We went with the empty set, so they were clearing out with the Delta secondary, and so we got a chance to run it, used his legs, and got the 1st and 10.
Delta Devils try to sub as a defensive lineman runs back. That's Gordon. Trips down to the right, off the left hash. Cats down by 7 second quarter. The shotgun snap he gives to Washington, who breaks one tackle in the backfield and then brings the defender with him down to the, call it 17-yard line A gain of a handful on first down.
That's about 4, 3.5 to 4. That's a good thing. You want to stay on schedule. You want to be ahead of the chain, something we've not been today, so that's good. 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6.
Trips out to the right. Jackson, lone receiver near side. The shotgun snap, play fakes, throws out to the flats, right side, caught by Francois at the 21, spins the 20, and he's down. Out of bounds at the 14-yard line, 3rd and short.
We'll be about 2 yards short. That was that bubble screen outside to the wide receiver. We get about 4 out of that. So it leaves us with 3rd and about 3.5.
3rd and 3.
Here we go. The snap give. Washington gets to the second side, the 10, and rumbles down to the 6.5. 1st and goal, Bethune-Cookman.
Good job that time, Isaac Washington running inside the tackles. Wildcats go fast. We're on the football real quick right here. Speedway Racehorse offense.
7:29 ticking down to the second quarter. 1st and goal, the shotgun snap, and it will be halted as Mississippi Valley State's final timeout with 7:24 to go here in this second quarter. Bethune-Cookman trying to tie up this ball game.
And you can see right away Coach Danzig complaining because, you know, Bethune was really lining up on that football going fast. They've exhausted their timeouts for the half so far. So the Coach Super wanted to really keep his foot on the gas that time. I like the fact of running inside the tackles right there when you got that 4-by-1 look because you've got people spread out all over the football field.
A big game here in the non-conference for the Wildcats. Other games in the MEAC going on right now. Howard and North Carolina Central, a big duel. Florida A&M takes on Norfolk State later. Bethune-Cookman 2-3 on the season, 1-1 inside the MEACs. And Mississippi Valley State's in at 0-3, 0-1 in the SWAC. But there's always that point of pride between these two conferences, West, no matter when they play the MEAC-SWAC rivalry.
It doesn't make any difference whether it's the preseason MEAC-SWAC challenge game or whether it's the Celebration Bowl. These two conferences mirror one another, and they've had some great rivalries that are out-of-conference rivalries over the years. So you're so right, Nolan. Even though we haven't played these guys in 43 years, you know, we've only played them twice in 67, 68, and I think it was actually 67. We say 68 in the press books, but I'm certain it was 67. No doubt about it. I went to that game. That's why I know the 67.
This will be the 8th play of the drive that started at the Mississippi Valley State 32. 1st and goal from the 7. Williams in the shotgun. Washington sidecar to the left. Now motion by Kevon Mitchell. Sweep out to the left. A reverse to Jackson. Jackson with a block at the 15, the 10, the 5. Runs in untouched. Touchdown, maroon and gold. Malik Jackson from 7 yards out.
Now we get flags all over the place. That's really celebrating the transfer from Florida State. Don't know if we needed all of that, but the touchdown is good. This will be a post-possession foul. His mom was in town. She was at practice the other day. I saw her sitting out on the field with her umbrella, and she and Terry Simmons were really stones throw from each other. The St. Nicholas in Justin, Georgia, Wayne County. So good to see her son come in here and have a big play on this homecoming game.
First rushing score for Malik Jackson. You said the transfer from Florida State. Uriel Hernandez looks to tie the game with 7:16 to go in the second quarter. Bat to snap, Stephon Francois, the holder. Snap, hold, the righty swings the spikes, and we are knotted at 14 with 7:16 to go here in this second quarter between Bethune-Cookman and Mississippi Valley State. Again, West set up here with that short field position. Cats had a big 4th down run by Kevius Williams, able to tie it up here. Second quarter seems to be in control for VCU.
Really, whenever we go empty, if you watch the Mississippi Valley defense deploy, they're still playing with the cover 2, but their linebackers are at least 10 yards on a bail. So at that point, the Kevis has got to use his legs. If they take all the passing zones away, use your legs. Get yourself 5-7. Stay on schedule. What you don't want to do is be in 2nd and 10, 12, 13. You want to be on schedule. No, we did a good job. We took advantage of the short football field. Got points out of it. We'll be penalized on the kickoff at 15 yards. We'll be kicking this thing a little bit further back to the 20-yard line. 8
plays, 32 yards in the drive, capped off by the 7-yard rushing score from number 6 Malik Jackson into the end zone to our left. We're all knotted up at 14 into 7-16. You're right, Giovanni Francis will have to boot this one deeper in his own territory. So 17 of football up at the 20-yard line. That means the Delta Devil return man. Back to receive. Hooker Chambers awaits at his own 9 down in front of us on the near side. Far side at about the 12-yard line. Stands number 6, the quarterback, Barry and Tony.
And they probably will come out of this pretty well field position. The Delta Devils will with this penalty.
The senior approach to pigskin. He sends it flying back over to LPGA, a deep one here, given the penalty field at the 9. Chambers 15 to the 20 towards the far side of the 25. Jukes, and he swarmed to the 30-yard line and punished to the turf right there.
That's a great job right there by that Wildcat special team.
Henry
From
Miller.
the 20 and we hold them into the 30. That's a tremendous job, both on Giovanni's kicking as well as the cover guys getting down there. And I thought it would be a lot worse. And if you can get a team stopped inside the 30 on a situation like that, you've done a great job.
Henry Miller, the transfer from the University of Pittsburgh, on the tackle. 1st and 10, Mississippi Valley State from its own 30-yard line will drive from left to right in its green helmets, gray jerseys, gray pants. 7:09 here in the second quarter. 14 straight unanswered points by the maroon and gold on homecoming.
Now I'm looking for a TO right now. Get a turnover and keep this thing going.
To Jared Bryant in the shotgun, running back to his left. Chambers motions from right to left. Play action. He throws left side. It's tipped and intercepted by the Cats down the far sideline. Inside the 25 and down to the 20-yard line. There's that TO, Larry Wesley.
Right on schedule.
Cookman picks it off.
Right on schedule, Nolan. I tell you, they tried to go to the outside. Now, we didn't watch that play because we let a guy go that time who was free. The quarterback missed him and took the short pass. We were able to get it. And we set up shop at about the 20-yard line. Great job by the Wildcat defense. Sudden change. Alan Suba likes to go quick here. Watch for us to take a shot early in this situation.
The Wildcats will have it here down at the 20-yard line, looking to take the lead for the first time today. Marquise Hendricks with the interception, his 2nd of the year.
He's all over the place. He's a possessed linebacker, no doubt. If he's not the best linebacker in the MEAC, I want to see who is.
Williams in the shotgun, Ladarian Wilson tailback to the right. Here's the snap, a 4-man rush. Williams steps up, dumps it off flats near side, caught at the 20 and stopped right there. Tompkins on the tackle to Jimmy Robinson.
See, they're dropping back so far that Lakevis is going to have to realize, when I say use his legs, there's some seams for him to get 3 or 4 yards or more.
A gain of a half-yard on the play. It's 2nd down and 10 for Bethune-Cookman. The Wildcats turn to the near sideline. Williams in the shotgun, 2 receivers right to left. Wilson now moves offset to the left. Here's the snap, play action, throws, screen caught by Robinson to the 20. Jukes is at the 15, near sideline 10, the 5. He's in the end zone, touchdown, maroon and gold. Jimmy Robinson from 20 yards out, and Bethune-Cookman takes a 20-14 lead. 6:21 second quarter.
That's that total screen, Nolan. We have 3 by 1. We got the blocks that we needed. Got to Jimmy real quick. Once you make the first defender miss, then it's to the house. Candy bought it over.
Jimmy Robinson scores for the Wildcats, one of the most dynamic scoring threats in the MEAC, 1st in the MEAC in touchdowns, and that's his 4th receiving score of 2018. Uriel Hernandez on to try to make it a 7-point lead for the Wildcats, puts boot to leather, and it is true. 6:21 to go here in this second quarter. Bethune-Cookman 21 and Mississippi Valley State 14 as the Cats score on 2 plays. Taken in the end zone, capped off by the 20-yard score by Jimmy Robinson.
Looks like we're waking up, Nolan. I guess the crowd got here a little earlier. The Wildcats got here a little bit later, but now we're playing inspired football, both offensively and defensively, and great response by the Wildcats to take that short field after the interception, cash in and get the go-ahead touchdown. Need to sustain this and keep this thing going. 6:21 before the halftime celebration start here on Homecoming 2018.
All right, let's see if we can check in with JT on the sideline, see if he's got an update for us. JT,
All right,
what you got?
Wildcat fans. As the momentum has gained, defense has did what they're supposed to do. Special teams is rolling very well. Just finding out that these guys are really rolling really well. So Coach Sims had intended for this to happen and just says they have to keep their head in the game and stay focused. And that's the biggest thing, just communicating and staying focused. Back to you guys.
All right, let's get JT some water down.
I think JT's still playing, and we don't know it.
Francis with a deep kickoff that goes well over the head of Chambers and lands out of bounds. And I know that's going to make Terry Sims, Ashawn Larkins, and you pretty happy.
Oh, I'm thrilled. He's pointing, Giovanni pointing at Jeff Fagan, who was his #1 critic. He's headed straight towards Jeff over on the sideline right now. But a great kickoff. That's what we used to see from him when he came out of Miami Central High School as clearly one of the best kickers in the state at that time. But the senior doing a great job, and finally goes over and shakes the hand of his favorite nemesis, Coach Fagan.
So for Bryant, coming off his first interception of the season, he'll take over again as Mississippi Valley State. Not scored on 3 straight drives. 1st and 10 for the Delta Devils. Going from left to right, down 21-14, 6:21 second quarter. A shotgun snap and a 4-receiver set. He zips it out near side. McElfresh with a diving attempt at the 31 and hauls it in front of the Wildcat sideline.
They're going to spot it right at the 30. It was a quick out that they ran that time. McElfresh, ball was thrown well. He had to lay out for it, so it's a throw and catch of about 5 yards.
2nd down and 5 as McElfresh comes up with his 9th catch of 2018. Another 4-receiver set. Ball rests in the near hash of the 30-yard line. Robinson, the tailback, give to Robinson to the left side. Marquez Ford has none of it. Drops him for a loss of half a yard in the play.
Well, I tell you, Marcus playing a real good football right there. He's right on the spot. That junior transfer out of Rutgers University and East Bay Gibson's in high school at Tampa over in that area. Johnny on the spot. No gain.
It's 3rd down and 5. The Delta Devils are just 1 for 5 on 3rd downs. Thus far, 21-14, Bethune Cookman leads. 5:22 to go until halftime at Daytona Stadium. Another 4-receiver set here for Bryant. The Cats bring 4. He throws middle of the field, open man on a low pass. Did he haul it in? And it's ruled a completion of 1st down at the 37 to the tight end, Kelvin Lovett.
Yeah, he had Lovett over the middle, caught it and hit the ground. Give him a 1st and 10 out to about the 37 is where they're going to spot it.
2nd catch of the year for Kelvin Lovett. And the Delta Devils move the sticks for the 2nd time on 3rd down this sunny afternoon. Crowd looks on. Most of the band has made its way inside the concourse, ready to take the field. We're at the 4:35 mark as Mississippi Valley State has the football at its own 38. Slot motion, Chambers left to right. Give Chambers, he fumbles the football. A loose ball in the backfield and a fight for it between the gray and the maroon. And it appears that Mississippi Valley State was able to hop on it at its own 30.5-yard line.
Looks like, I think Bryant got on the football. It looked like to me. I think he did.
So it'll be 2nd and a mile.
Yep. Just a misexchange there, and luckily, fortuitously for them, they got on the football. We had a number of people there, just couldn't get to it quicker.
It was right on the mesh on the give to Chambers. An attempted jet sweep to the right side. 2nd and forever to go. Ball at the 30.5-yard line. The Delta Devils need to get to their own 48, going from left to right. 3:45 second quarter. Wildcats lead 21-14. Tight end, 2 receivers left. Slot motion again and flags to blow it dead.
And a procedure penalty against one of the interior linemen for the Delta Devils.
This will be the 4th penalty. Now 36 yards. Visitors out of Itabena, Mississippi. Ever been to Itabena?
Itabena.
Ever been?
Yes, sir. 67 was my first year there.
We'll see how much has changed in 2019.
Well, I can tell you this, Nolan. This is the truth. The first time I had ever been as a little kid told to go to the back door was in Itabena, Mississippi. We're going to get something to eat. Never forget one of those situations back in the 60s.
2nd and long to go here. The shotgun snap. Bryant throws a deep pass down the middle. Intercepted at the 50-yard line by the Cats. BCU runs to the near side. Cutting out. The 30. The 25. The 20. Takes the 15. The 10. The 5. A pick 6. Bethune Cookman. Trevor Marin takes to the house.
Oh, that young man from Vieira High School down there right now. But what a play by him. Intercepting it. Better job of running it back. Got great blocks and he takes it to the house. What an outstanding play by another junior from the high school.
First pick six for Trevor Merritt as a Wildcat. Second pick six of the year for Bethune-Cookman, who's now an extra point away from doubling up the Delta Devils.
He came out of high school, Nolan, being highly recruited. A number of major people wanted him. He was a stellar football player. Got a chance to broadcast his football game in a high school state championship game.
Second INT of the year for Merritt, the junior out of Melbourne. Here's Hernandez on for the extra point. And he lofts it through. 3:01 to go until halftime, and Bethune-Cookman has now made it 28 unanswered points, taking a 28-14 lead against Mississippi Valley State on the Trevor Merritt pick six, taking it back to the house. Officially a 49-yard pick six for Merritt, coming right across the middle. A much different game than the way this started out. So slow for both the offense and defense, the Wildcats. And what do you think the turning points be?
Well, I think something can be just an addition. And I think that catch and throw and catch by
Kevon Mitchell.
Kevon Mitchell. And that Akevius and Kevon connections a lot of ages. But that one play set us off. And some interesting developments, Nolan, right now as you have these teams in Durham. Something happening big in the MEAC.
Right now, the latest update, we have 24 seconds to go. 40-35, North Carolina Central takes the lead over Howard as Lynn Thompson points out the score. No more Hail Marys up there. We have used the allotment up in Durham. That is not allowed today for Howard.
I tell you, it looks like they came back at the last moment to pull it out at the half in Tallahassee on homecoming. Florida A&M leads Norfolk State 3-0. Defensive football game.
Giovanni Francis with a high end-over-end kick deep into the end zone, 2 yards deep, and the Delta Devils bring it out. Torrey into the far side of the 10, scoots out to the 15, where he's escorted by a pair of Wildcats, and late Laundry comes in, which it's an interesting, we'll let the call this year, I don't want to rush it, but a couple of Wildcats escorted him out, but it looked like the defender hit the ground, while the return man Torrey remained upright.
And the referee that threw it could not see it because he was blocked by the scrum on the sideline. It looked as though he thought it was a personal foul, but really and truly there was no hurt, no harm on that. And they throw the flag over there to bail them out, bail the Delta Devils out. Rather than being at the 18, they'll come out to the 32 on that 33 on that particular exchange.
Well, those watching ESPN can see it. Whether you agree with the call or not, I think your description is accurate. Yes, he did come in from about 20 yards away, and the sideline, the huddle was impeding him because you're 20 yards away.
You couldn't see it. You couldn't see it at all. But a very fortuitous break for the Delta Devils. They would have been inside. And Nolan, it's interesting. They've been running all these kicks out. Bernie's been kicking them inside the, 2 yards out into the end zone. They're still coming out. They're high coverage kicks. But you think the new rule, take the football to 25.
Haven't seen much of that. 2:54 in the second quarter. It's 1st and 10 for the Delta Devils from their own 33. Three receivers flexed out to the right. Slideman motions out to the left. The shotgun snap to Bryant. Play fake. Throws down the middle. Off the hands of his receiver at the 45-yard line on a slant. He wanted Harper.
And we had Deron Maxwell, number 4, and on the coverage. He wanted Harper quick over the middle on a skinny post, quick slant, really. And failed to make the connection there.
Bryant now 4 for 11 passing with 2 interceptions, no touchdowns for just 21 yards.
And he's not the starter, as you so well indicated, but he got the start for this football game.
We haven't seen any action from number 11, Chris Fowler, 6'3", 208 sophomore from Apache Junction, Arizona.
It's a final out of Durham.
40-35?
40-35.
It'll be a wild year in the MEAC. Second down and 10 as the Cats stack the line of scrimmage. The shotgun snap, option far side. Toss to the running back who spins off a tackle to 30, lunges out to the 35, and powers ahead to the 39. Cats nearly had electricity in the backfield, but it came unplugged with the great move from John Derek Smith.
We did not wrap up. We came up and one support in the alley real well there, but the big back broke the tackle, turning a negative play into about a 3-yard gain. Third down now and about 5 to make.
About a 9-yard swing of what could have been there. 3rd and 5, 2:23 ticking down second quarter. Bethune-Cookman up 28-14. 3 down linemen, 3 backers pressuring off the edge as the Delta Devils turn to the far sideline. They have no timeouts left. In a 4-receiver set is Bryant, who now barks out to his offensive line. Running back set to the left is John Derek Smith. Harper McElfresh to the right. Here's a shotgun snap. Under duress, flushed out to the right. Bryant backtracks at the 20, gets out of a sack, throws near sideline, and it's caught at the 47-yard line. McElfresh with a Wildcat. Elliott Miller draped over his shoulder. Like a rebounder, just kind of held his position and moves the sticks.
And I tell you, that was all created by Jared Bryant's legs. He scrambled, got away from us, broke containment. We ran him way back to about the 20-yard line when he cut that one loose. And they get the 1st and 10. Great job on his part. We're under a minute and 30. They have no timeouts.
It's a gain of 7 through the air, but Bryant ran for about 70 yards, it seemed, in the backfield.
He certainly did. Made that play, though. Give him credit.
1st and 10, under a minute 20 to go. Bethune Cookman on top, 28-14. Delta Devils trying to move left to right. Sun at their backs. Slot motion from the far side. A give right up the middle. Smith runs into the teeth of the Wildcat defense, shy of midfield. He's down to the 48.
I'll take that any day. That clock's continuing to run. It's under a minute right now. The Delta Devils want to go fast. Pick up a 3 that time on the zone read inside.
2nd down and 7 for Mississippi Valley State.
3-yard gain, 2nd down, 7.
Tied in McElfresh. Receiver out to the right. Smith now moves to the left, joining 2 receivers that way. Here's the snap to Bryant. Throws in the flat to Smith. A one-handed attempt. Incomplete. Too high for his tailback.
Tried to get the arrow route that time with the back out of the backfield. Joe Johnson had the coverage on him, but the pass was a little bit high. And I think Bryant's feeling that pressure. He didn't have much that time, but he didn't take the time to set his feet and throw that football. Pass sailed on him, Nolan, out in the flat.
Clock stops momentarily with 38 seconds to go until halftime. 28-14, Bethune-Cookman has the lead against Mississippi Valley State.
One of our Wildcats has gold shoes. I thought it was a flag on the play. I looked down there. He's got a couple of gold cleats.
That's Elliott Miller.
The senior from Miami Norland.
Cats in those chrome maroon helmets. They're brand new. Maroon tops, maroon pants. Mississippi Valley State green helmets, gray jerseys, gray pants. Harper motions to the left, 3 receivers to the left, and flags come flying for a delay of game. And this could be the 3rd delay of game against Mississippi Valley State.
Yeah, that's a costly one right there. They'll stop the clock. But you know, you're trying to get this football in scoring range, and gotta watch that clock. They'll back 5 yards, put it back at about the 43.
So it's 3rd down and 12 to go. At the 43, needing to get inside Wildcat territory to the 45. Harper getting motions to the left, 3 receivers wide side of the field, ball at the near hash. The shotgun snap to Bryant. Cats only rush 3. He drifts to the right and throws it incomplete at the 39. Bounced it, looking for a screen to Smith. It was covered up by the defensive end, Torian Williams.
Now we're reading it pretty well right now, Nolan. They tried to hurt us with those quick screens as they did earlier, but we've made the adjustment. One thing I like about Yogi Jones, he's always had that trademark. He will make adjustments. He made them a little earlier this time. Usually makes them at halftime, but clearly the 2nd quarter has belonged to Bethune-Cookman. 33.4
ticks to go. The Wildcats have all 3 of their timeouts. Mitchell will have to fend off the sun as he awaits towards our right at the 24-yard line. Reed to punt. One of the protectors jogs out from the sideline for Mississippi Valley State from the far side. Cats stack at the line of scrimmage, leading 28-14. The snap, the rush, he gets it off. Spiraling punt sends Mitchell back. He takes to the 15-yard line near side, jukes out to the right, and cannot evade a pair of tacklers who drop him inside the 15-yard line with a solid tackle by 13 Morgan Ford of the Delta Devils.
And that was the best punt of the day by Justin Reed. That looked more like the average that he was bringing into this football game. Got that one up into the breeze here at Daytona Stadium and knocked us down at about the 14-yard line. We're under really 25 seconds, I guess.
24.4 ticks to go, 28-14. Bethune-Cookman has the lead against Mississippi Valley State. 28 unanswered, all in this quarter by the maroon and gold as the offense trots to the field. Trips to the right for Akevius Williams. It's Mitchell, Francois, and Thomas.
Protect the football. Let's get into halftime.
Jackson to the left. A shotgun snap. Play fakes, throws right side. It's caught by the slot man who gets out to the 25-yard line. Stephon Francois with a first down to the 26.
I tell you, Cookman's not sitting on it, that's for sure. They're trying to move this football. 15-14.
Francis with the reception. Taken by Joe. First down, Wildcats.
Clock continues to run at 6 seconds. 5, 4, Mitchell gets the snap. Williams steps out to the left. Runs, throws a deep pass left side, has Malik Jackson, and it's incomplete at the 25 as the safety Shaw came over and makes a touchdown-saving tip to send us to halftime.
Just got there in time, I tell you. Akiva stood across his body and got it out there. Malik was about to make the catch, but the Valley Devils knock it down.
28-14 our score at the half as Bethune-Cookman leads Mississippi Valley State. We'll send it to our halftime report here with the MEAC on ESPN and the Cat Eye Radio Network.
4K, the 82-inch Samsung QLED TV.
Welcome to halftime, 28-14. Bethune-Cookman leads Mississippi Valley State. And let's take a look at the best band in the land, the pride of Bethune-Cookman. The stars of the Netflix original series marching orders, the Bethune-Cookman Pride, will come back and continue coverage as Bethune-Cookman leads Mississippi Valley State 28-14 at the half. It's MEAC Football on ESPN.
Wheat yeah? Freak yeah.
Halftime here at Daytona Stadium, homecoming 2018, 28 unanswered points by Bethune-Cookman gives the Cats a 28-14 lead at the break. And there's another look at the Pride here with MEAC Football on ESPN. And a big thing in the MEAC are the bands, and the biggest band there is. These marching Wildcats and the Pride and Larry, they're giving an homage here to the crowd. They've been over 5,000 miles recently, but there's nothing like homecoming in front of your home crowd.
Absolutely, and they're acknowledging everyone, alumni, faculty, students, fans, friends, and everyone standing up right now. The Pride, a magnificent performance, a band that is, as you said, well-traveled. And I'm looking at this, thinking about this band, being a graduate of myself back in the 70s and watching this massive band and the performances that they typically give. And Donovan Wells is absolutely one of the finer band directors in all of America.
Oh, absolutely. So look at the MEAC football standings and lots of good MEAC action today. See Norfolk State sitting at 1-0, squaring off against Florida A&M. That's a 2-0, and that 2-3 matchup. That game's at the half right now. A defensive struggle. 3-0 Florida A&M leads. They get set to start the third quarter.
Interesting football game. I knew it would be close. I thought it would be attractive. I did not think it was going to be a defensive struggle. Both ball clubs came in scoring a lot of points, and apparently very stout defensively as well. So interesting matchup on the heel of Tallahassee. Homecoming, real tough place for opponent to play there on homecoming. They packed that Bragg Stadium.
One more final just came in as both teams are now 1-1 in the MEAC. North Carolina Central wins at home in a shootout over Howard, 40-35. We'll continue our halftime coverage from Daytona Stadium. After this, it's MEAC Football on ESPN.
Fresh baked every 4 hours bread. The kind of freak that makes the world a better place to eat. Freaky Fresh, Freaky Fast, Jimmy John's. Now try your favorite on our new 9-grain wheat sub. Wheat yeah, freak yeah.
And the rain won't stop the Pride, the fantastic #1 undefeated marching band of Bethune-Cookman University. Halftime here at Daytona Stadium, 28-14 the scores. The Wildcats lead with 28 unanswered points, and the band makes its way off the field. Rain not stop this band. We've got a rainbow in the distance. It's been all smiles lately for the Wildcats, and we welcome in a very special guest this into the booth. It's Dr. Clifford Porter. Dr. Porter here with us right now because for those watching on ESPN are about to see something very special. For those on our Cat Eye Radio Network, you're about to hear something very special. VCU is about giving back to the this institution year in and year out, and we're about to see something very Grand Club, and I don't know if anyone brought the ponchos out here as we get one of those trademark spot showers here in the Sunshine State. We know it's going to go away in just a minute, but what unique opportunities for these individuals to be out here.
Yeah, people like me, maybe wanted to get on the field in college, but couldn't quite do it by playing football or being in the band. But this is a way that everyone gets to the institution. And so we're just excited that we have one individual who will be standing on each hash mark from end zone to end zone, showing that they have contributed $1 million to the university. And so you do the cumulative total of $100,000.
It's a fantastic gift, and on behalf of everyone at Bethune-Cookman University, so grateful for what these individuals have contributed, and we know they're going to continue to contribute to this school. Now, for those that are listening on the Can I Radio Network or watching on ESPN, Watch ESPN, how can they get involved and do something similar to give back to Bethune-Cookman on homecoming weekend?
Well, you can go to our website if you're away from Daytona Beach at this time. Go to our website, www.cookman.edu, and you can give. There's a little tag there, give for the Huntington Grand Club, or for any other purpose you'd like to give to the institution. We have a very nice site, and our hunting is kind of shrunk down a little bit because of the rain, but they're over there under the tent, and again, this showing is just a great show.
Still plenty strong in the 100 Grand Club on the field right now in those BCU sun gold shirts. Trying to get some sun out here as this rain is really pouring down at halftime. But what else is going on within institutional advancement in Bethune-Cookman? This is a big part of what this 100 Grand Club, but we've got other ways to get involved as an alumni, right?
Exactly. We have a lot of wonderful opportunities. While we want folks to write checks to the institution, obviously, there are other ways that you can support. We have the Alumni Day of Service that comes up in early 2019 in March, where our alumni can come back and really mentor our students and show them career areas. You can also, again, go to our website. There are obviously ways that you can give there. We're just excited about the future.
28-14, Bethune-Cookman leads Mississippi Valley State at the half as the fans have headed for cover as the skies have opened up during halftime. Trying to rain down a Bethune-Cookman's comeback here, 28 unanswered by the Maroon and Gold as we get set for the second half. 28-14 our score. Welcome in everyone on the Can I Radio Network. For those of us on Watch ESPN, Nolan Alexander with Larry Wesley. Jamar Stompton's going to make his way in the booth here, see if he can give us an update on what he heard during the break, speaking with Coach Sims and the Wildcats on the sideline. West here, it started out slow for Bethune-Cookman, but my oh my how it's changed. Ready for the second half kick, Bethune-Cookman will kick off to the Delta Devils from left to right as Giovanni Francis tees it up at the 35 in those brand new chrome maroon helmets. Maroon tops, gold numbers, maroon pants. Mississippi Valley State set to return. And the green helmets, gray jerseys with green numbers, orange trim, and the green pants. In that first half, a total of 106 passing yards for the Cats, 71 rushing for $177 in total. Mississippi Valley State rushed 152 yards, 28 passing yards for 180 total yards. Francis, which is the pigskin, sends it flying. End over end, short to the right side. The Delta Devils run up. Chambers takes inside the 20, and he tosses it back over to Torrey at the 15, far side the 20. The 25 towards the numbers and takes a couple of cats on a ride as he's finally pushed down inside the 35-yard line. A little trickeration from Mississippi Valley State to open up the third.
With a wet football, we might add with that, Nolan.
Yeah.
Really interesting decision there on that low handoff off of the kickoff, and the Valley Devils get it out to about the looks like about the 34-yard line where they're going to put it in play. I was really worried with the lightning in the area whether we were going to be able to start this football game right away. But apparently, whatever inclement weather is must not be in the area enough to threaten the football game right now.
The showers came in from the beach, so from the end zone to our right, they slowly worked in right as halftime started, sprinkled in towards the end of the band's performance. The heavens truly opened up. Two running backs in the backfield here for Bryant, who gives it on a sweep to the right side to Smith. Stiff arms past Hendricks and is taken out of bounds around the 40-yard line. A short gain on first down for Mississippi Valley State.
Give them about 3, where they're going to mark it, maybe 4 on that 1st and 10 play. And we adjusted to their offense a lot better in the second quarter, Nolan, than we did the first quarter.
5 carries for 15 yards now for John Derek Smith. And it's 2nd down and 6 to go for the Delta Devils. Bryant, the backup quarterback, earned the starting 9 today. We haven't seen any action of number 11, Chris Fowler. Slot motion from Chambers out to the right, a high snap. He gives to Smith behind his left guard. Jukes out to the 40 and falls out to about the 41. It will be 3rd and a couple to go for the Valley.
Yeah, another 3-yard gain there. They'll need 3 right here. It'll be 3rd and about 3. The line to make for them is the 44-yard line. Ball resting at the 41 right now.
13:50 ticking down here in the third quarter. 28-14, Bethune-Cookman leads. A hard count by Bryant as he turns to his right. Running back offset to the right. That's Robinson who checks in. Love of the tight end offset to the right behind his right tackle. McElfresh receiver outside of the numbers. Chambers slot left, McIntosh wide right. Another high snap option to the right. He fakes. He's tackled in the backfield and dropped for a loss of half a yard on the play. Kevin Thompson and Devin James in to bring him down.
There's that adjustment that Yogi Jones has made coming out of the locker room. We know that Bryant has been really the thorn on our side and the straw that stirs their offense. We keyed him up real well that time and no gain.
And Mississippi Valley State is now 3 for 9 on 3rd downs. Reed to punt. As the Wildcats bring back a new returner, Malik Jackson awaits at the 23 along the far hash. The snap and the kick by Reed beats the rush. End over end deep to the near side. Jackson drifts back, takes to the 16, and he's promptly buried right there with a solid special teams tackle by number 28, LaVarence Gilliard.
Great coverage that time by the Delta Devils. Let's see. But they got a flag for us, so on us, so they'll probably tack it on to the play here. They'll probably add an additional penalty on us inside the 20, so it should be half the distance to the goal on the holding.
BC was penalized 4 times for 45 yards in the first half.
Ball sitting right now on the 16, Nolan. Let's see, they sought this out. Should be half the distance, the 10-yard penalty. Ball will probably be placed inside of the 10-yard line when they finish all of the deliberations here with the referees.
And we'll pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Cat Eye Radio Network. And we bring you back into rainy Daytona Stadium. Here at the campus, or just off the campus of Bethune-Cookman University, across from the campus of Father Lopez High School off LPGA Boulevard. A 2-lane road that sees its most traffic year in and year out on this specific Saturday. Every day, every year this Saturday buries that road. And you're right, it's a 10-yard penalty, assessed half the distance to the goal line for 8 yards. The Wildcats will have their backs against the left end zone, driving left to right at their own 8th, the worst starting field position of the day for BCU, who leads Mississippi Valley State 28-14, 12:46 here in the third quarter. Williams in the shotgun, his tailback Isaac Washington off to the right. Here's the snap, a zone read. Williams keeps to the right side, wins a foot race against the defender at the 10. He's at the 15, the 20, and dances out of bounds around the 30 with 2 flags down at the 20.
I think they're going to get Cameron on the hold that time. Our tight end got outside there and didn't get the actual block he was trying to get. Mallett hooked the guy, and so it'll be 10 more yards from, I guess, from the spot of the foul. Might bring it back to maybe the ball was resting at about the 8. They'll come back to the 9.
So a redo first down with a gain of a yard in the play. It's just about.
Wow.
Another shotgun set for Kevius Williams in the offense, the redshirt junior out of Madison, Florida. Mallard tied in the right, Jackson receiver on the short side of the field as the ball is on the close near right hash. Washington tailback to the left. Beauchamp tight end left. John Thomas motions into the formation. The snap and a give to Washington, who looks for room up the middle and not much. He gets to about the 10-yard line for the Delta Devils swarm him. A gain of, call it 2 on the play. It's second down.
Good safe run inside that time. We brought the motion over, which caused the Valley defense to react and give it to Isaac on the inside. Pick up about 2 yards. We're in the shadows of our end zone. Need to protect the football.
Second down and 8. 3 receivers to the left for Williams. 4 down linemen for the Delta Devils. The shotgun snap designed roll out to the left. He tosses to an open man at the 15. Catches made, spins for a first down, and reaches across the 20. Kevon Mitchell with his 3rd catch.
Good safe throw and catch there. That time Akivas to Kevon. We get about 10 on it. Mark the 1st and 10 out to about the 21. Throw and catch, a spot route.
Williams now 10 for 19, passing over 100 yards. It's 1st and 10. Bethune Cookman up by 14. The shotgun snap give to Washington, who can't break an ankle tackle at the line of scrimmage. It's the big D tackle, Bryant Jones, 6'1", 304 senior out of Riverside, California.
We didn't get him blocked. He's a load inside, and he had him wrapped up, had Isaac wrapped up by the ankle, would not let go. And they bring us down for literally no gain at that point in time.
Alvin Harper checks in. He wears jersey number 20. Out to the left. 3 to the right. Ball closer to the far hash. On 2nd and 10, the shotgun snap. Another give to Washington. Can't break a tackle at the 25. I believe that was Jones again hanging on from his backside. Gets to the 26. It's 3rd and about 4, maybe 5 to go.
Yeah, they ran the power that time out of a zone look. They brought a guard over. We get about 5 yards. Good tough running inside. 3rd down and manageable here.
Right in the faces of the Wildcats, who drive from left to right, leading 28-14, under 10:30 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Williams waits. Claps for the snap. Here it is. A give. Isaac Washington jukes to the right, falls to the 29-yard line. He's going to be short of the first down marker by a pair of yards.
Yeah, he'll be about 1.5 yards, maybe 2 yards, as you say, short right there. We'll have to give it up. Good running that time on the inside. Just couldn't get that last guy block in the interior of the line. They pull us down. They're 2 yards short of the 1st and 10. We'll have to punt it away. Boy, I tell you, we need some windshield wipers up here.
Yes. Thank goodness we've got this monitor for the ESPN feed. As Giovanni Francis looks to punt for the 3rd time today, averaging just 37 yards. Booker Chambers back to return at the 21 as Francis punts from left to right. A high snap over his hands inside the 10-yard line, and it's still a loose football. Doesn't matter who recovers here. It'll be 1st and goal for Mississippi Valley State at the 5.
Well, one of the things I was hopeful we could do is get out of here with a punt to get that football out of there. Not a really good job that time. We don't usually make mistakes like that in the kicking game, but we got a wet football, and just like that, turnovers will get you killed.
I believe that's the first poor snap of Kendall Batt's career. He's been extremely reliable for the young sophomore as BCU's long and short snapper.
Yeah, but an opportune time right there. Not that it was a great time for a bad snap, but certainly when the football is in the red zone like that, it's tough.
Bryant in the shotgun. Robinson to his right. Here's the snap. A handoff. Tries the left side. Runs out into the Wildcat defense. Ty Peters and Devin James stop him at about the 5.
Good job right there. They tried to run the loop zone read themselves, and we fill that hole up real quick there. Knock them down for basically no gain.
In the first half, Robinson carried 7 times for 54 yards and a score. The first score of the ballgame was 4th and a couple to go from Mississippi Valley State and busted it out 40 yards. 28-14, the Wildcats lead. 9 minutes left here in the third quarter. The snap to Bryant. He throws right side of the end zone. It's caught. He's just short of the end zone, down at the 1-yard line before Vernon Walker pushes him back. That's Harper on the catch. Ball comes loose afterwards. The Cats pick it up inside the numbers in front of the Delta Devils sideline, but it's marked dead.
Looks like they're going to put it down at about the, I don't know, looks like about the 2. Nolan, what do you think?
Well, I'm trying to judge off our TV monitor because I'm so distorted by the rain in front of our window.
Look between rain lines live because you can't see much with that.
It'll be 3rd and goal from inside the 2 as a flag comes in. And a timeout on the field with 8:19 to go here in the third quarter. Timeout taken. 28-14. The Wildcats lead the Delta Devils. We'll be back with 3rd and goal to go from Mississippi Valley State. You're watching the MEAC on ESPN and listening to the Cat Eye Radio Network.
.org.
The San Francisco 49ers head to Green Bay to take on Aaron Rodgers and the Packers Monday at 8:15 on ESPN.
And we welcome you back to Daytona Beach. It's Daytona Stadium playing host to homecoming 2018. Bethune-Cookman 28, Mississippi Valley State 14. 3rd and goal from the 2 for the Delta Devils. Into the end zone to our left. Into the Wildcat formation. This snap to the tailback. Smith goes up the middle, and I don't think he gets in. He's stopped back at the line of scrimmage, Wes.
Good defensive play right there. That interior, that's Uriah Gilbert's area. He held his ground in there. It'll be 4th down. Let's see what the Devils decide to do. They're not making any attempt to bring a kicking team in, so you got to believe right now, timeout by somebody.
There's an injured Delta Devil at the 1-yard line. That's the tight end, number 19, Tyron Hundley, a sophomore out of Kankakee, Illinois, 6'4", 214.
Got to believe right here, Nolan, if they're going to go for it on 4th down, I would probably think they're going to try to keep that football in Bryant's hand. He's been real clever with that football earlier in the football game in the first quarter.
Yeah,
so
their last 4th down conversion was into his hands on a quarterback power.
Absolutely. So you've got to believe that that's part of their thinking right here. Now, how we play this, we'll have to see whether they show that or whether they actually have a run-pass option off of that, giving him a chance to throw or run, probably using his legs, trying to get leverage to the outside. You've got to be aware here, really got to do a great job of setting the edge by our defense and not getting outflanked.
7:52 in the third quarter as the clock now ticks back down as Hundley makes his way to the sideline with the help of the trainers. 4th and goal from the 2. Again in the Wildcat. Smith tries the right side. Kennedy and Dukeway stops him in the backfield, and the Wildcats hold on 4th and goal.
Great job by that Wildcat defense right there. Boy, did they stand up and bowl their backs. And Dukeway, the senior out of Baltimore, Maryland, we got a Wildcat down there. I can't get the number here, laying at about the 8-yard line.
The defending MEAC Defensive Player of the Week makes one of the biggest plays for the VCU defense thus far.
That might be. Is that Dukeway who's down?
No, and Dukeway ran up to celebrate.
Okay.
Charged to celebrate.
It might be Hendricks. I hope that's not 19.
Tough to tell from here with the trainers over. Bethune-Cookman holds on 4th and goal. 7:32 to go here in this third quarter. A 28-14 lead. VCU against Mississippi Valley State. It is Hendricks is being helped up by the training staff.
Got to get him well. Don't want anything to happen to him. Boy, he's one of the keys to that defense. And Terry Sims all the way out on that football field, checking on his star junior linebacker out of Ocala Trinity High School, whose father was a pretty darn good football player here at Bethune-Cookman himself.
And so the Wildcats will take over at their own, marked at the 7-yard line. It's a loss of 5 in the play for Smith out of the Wildcat. As Mississippi Valley State goes to the Wildcat back-to-back plays, it gets for not on 2 of them. And so the Wildcats will drive from left to right, leading 28-14, 7:32 here in the third quarter. Nolan Alexander, Larry Wesley, Jamaris Tompkins made his way for some drier lands up here in the booth.
I wouldn't blame him.
Here's Williams in the shotgun. Isaac Washington is tailback to the right, tied in 2 receivers to the right. Snap, zone read. Williams keeps. He's at the end zone. Lofts down the right side from Malik Jackson. A jump ball tipped and nearly intercepted by the Delta Devils into the paws of Jamenta Shaw.
Well, we had the layered pass tree that time. We had John open, show Malik, but the ball hung because it's a wet football and McKeever's could not get much on it.
After the incompletion, Williams is now 10 for 20 passing, 117 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks.
I like to play it soft, take the short route in these conditions.
A 2-tight end set for Arkevius Williams. The shotgun snap. He loses the football in the zone read, and the Delta Devils recover. Number 52 hops in the football from Mississippi Valley State, Deontay Reed, and it'll be 1st and goal again for the Valley.
Nolan, I was so concerned about the exchanges down here, with the wet football, and this is how you can turn a football game around real quickly. Sometimes to stay base, get that football out before you start going down into your bag of tricks, because you got to execute down here. And when you're running these high-risk offense, it's feast or famine sometimes, and we have 2 negatives happen to us on consecutive series here. The punt snap, and now we turn it over again in exchange from quarterback to halfback.
Larry, did you bring some of that grease from your tailgate outside and lather up the football?
Must be something going on down there. I'll tell you, I just hate playing for the shadows of the end zone with a wet football. Too many things can happen bad.
1st and goal, Mississippi Valley State, 7:16 to go in the 3rd quarter from the 1-yard line. The snap, out of the shotgun, Bryant runs in, touchdown Delta Devils, but a flag is down towards the BCU sideline.
There's a flag on the play.
On the sideline, or?
It came in from the sideline. Honestly, not sure what it is if we had enough in the line of scrimmage for MVSU.
Offside Bethune.
Offsides in the cornerback, Elliott Miller. And a face mask against Mississippi Valley State, so offsetting penalties. Will give us a replay of 1st and goal from about the 2-yard line. The end zone to our left. The Wildcats lead at 28-14. 2nd straight drive from Mississippi Valley State that has begun with a goal to go.
Yeah, because of 2 miscues on the part of the Wildcats. The only thing can mess up homecoming is rain. I tell you, we were rolling real good here. We got to find a way to get these clouds out of here.
Look, the rain is dissipated. That Suns pokes out on this end zone to our left, where the Delta Devils are trying to knock in. Chambers motion to the left, a 4-receiver set. The snap, Bryant, there was a fade to the far side. Miller in coverage, knocks it incomplete, but a flag is down. Quinn McElfresh, the intended target.
They'll probably call us for pass interference, and they'll get the football on the 1-yard line. Will be Delta Devils. We had coverage on that side, but I think they called pass interference on the Wildcats.
Pass interference. Defense, number 7. Pass position to the goal.
7 penalties now for Bethune-Cookman, which had just 5 a week ago against Savannah State. First and goal inside the 1-yard line. The snap to Bryant. Sweep to the right side. Gets past Deontay Mayo and scoots in. Touchdown Mississippi Valley State from a yard out. 7 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Makes it a 28-20 ball game.
See, just like that. That's why I say you really have to play the percentages here when you're backed up like that and have a more traditional offense, staying base just to get that football out until you can get some field position, because you're working with a wet pigskin.
Arquive on for the extra point.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 16 on the offense. Then will be assessed on the kickoff.
So we'll have the unsportsmanlike assessed on the kickoff. The late flag coming in against the quarterback Bryant, who has his 2nd rushing touchdown of the afternoon.
Well, he went in high-stepping that time, and the celebration penalties are really, really, really targeted in a college football game.
And the kick is no good. Floated it off to the right and has a 28-20 lead with 7 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. We'll come back to Daytona Stadium after this on ESPN and the Cata Radio Network.
Don't lie. I can watch Ronaldo, Wayne Rooney. You do like Wayne Rooney? Yeah. That's it. That's a goal. Yes. If you want to see Wayne Rooney, this is where it's at. ESPN Plus. Cool. I'm telling you, man, it's great.
Mississippi Valley State capitalizes on the second Bethune-Cookman lost fumble of the afternoon. It takes it in from a yard out, 28-20. The Wildcats lead the Delta Devils. 7 minutes left here in this third quarter. Pigs a wet one today, Wes.
Yeah, I tell you, no doubt about it. You know, we got a late start here. The Wildcats did, as far as playing concerned, in the first quarter. Got it together. The second quarter, here comes the rain. You know, and it shuts us down. And now the crowd is trying to work themselves back in. Those who haven't left and started the party yet. So hopefully we get this again and get Bethune playing really well.
Urquiwe, after the unsportsmanlike conduct on Bryant following his score, kicks off from the 20 from right to left, and his orange cleat smacks the leather. End over end, near side. Robinson takes it to the 21. At the 25, the 30, middle of the field at the 35. Dances at the 40 and wrapped up at the 41. A shoestring tackle by number 23, John Derek Smith, the running back.
And it was a saving tackle because Jimmy was just reversing his field. He was coming into the alley and saw the cut back to his right and just got clipped a little bit. Had he got past that defender, it might have been a track meet to the end zone. But the Devils knock us down at the 42, and we've got to find a way to ignite this offense again and get to playing Wildcat football like we were in the second quarter.
Fifth meeting between these two programs. Bethune-Cookman leads the all-time series 3-1. These teams are meeting for the first time since 1975. Cats will drive from left to right. 4 down linemen, 2 backers for the Delta Devils. The shotgun snap. He gives Ladarian Wilson at the 40. 45 at midfield. Wilson 45 inside Delta Devil territory at the 39-yard line. 1st and 10 Wildcats.
The big back out of Casino Osceola. Good looking run that time by Ladarian. Get on the edge there. Lowering his pads and breaking about 20 yards. 9th
rush of the season for Ladarian Wilson, who's up over 65 yards here in 2018. Tight end Mallard motions from right to left. A shotgun snap. Wilson to the left side. Breaks past a linebacker and rumbles inside the 40 to the 34. Call it about 5 on 1st down.
There's no hesitation with this guy. His foot in the ground, hit straight ahead, lower the pads, and I'm bringing a lower.
6:10 and ticking down in the third quarter. The Wildcats lead the Delta Devils 28-20, driving left to right in their maroon chrome helmets, maroon jerseys, maroon pants.
Like the idea of leaning on this running game right now. 5 yards, we're on schedule, 2nd and 5.
Cats are averaging 4.4 yards per carry, 96 rushing yards thus far. Tight end Mallard, receiver Jackson set to the right. Francois slot left, Jackson out wide. The snap and a keeper by Williams to the right side across the 30, runs inside the 25 and slides down to the 22, and a flag comes in as Williams took a hit after he slipped.
That might be a target and shot right there. Let's see what they decide.
Some extracurriculars. Tracy Tompkins, the linebacker, displeased with the call. Stops the clock with 5:36 remaining in the third quarter. 28-20, Bethune-Cookman leads.
Trying to see what they're going to signal here.
Waiting on the call from Eric Green, our referee. And targeting is indeed the call. With targeting, they'll come back and take another look at it.
Yeah, they'll run and look up under the hood here to see what this replay will confirm or not, to determine whether the targeting will stand. If it in fact is targeting, there will be an automatic ejection of that football player.
There's number 12, the linebacker Tracy Tompkins, 5'9", 165 junior out of Miami.
One thing about Mississippi Valley, they've always done well getting Florida kids. They get a lot of kids out of Miami or South Florida, or either they get a lot out of the panhandle of Florida. And this team is no exception. Several of their players are from South Florida.
28-20 here on homecoming Saturday at Daytona Stadium for Bethune-Cookman. The Wildcats look to even their record at 3-3 overall. This is a non-conference game between the MEAC and the SWAC. BC 1-1 in the MEACs. Mississippi Valley State 0-1 in the SWAC. and 0-3 on the season. But Larry, we get a little bit chance to break here. We talked about this series, and the last time these teams played, 1975, at the track, right down at International Speedway. And you did some excellent research. You brought into the booth here some photocopies of the newspaper headlines following that day. What's the recap of that game?
Well, it's a great football game played by the Wildcats. We were actually underdog by 1 point, I think, which really angered our coach. And we came in to make a statement. But what I most remember, it was Lynn Thompson's first football game, and he punted outstanding that day. He was outstanding punter, punted 4 times for a 45-yard average, and was hitting some absolute moonshots. So much so that part of the article featured Lynn, being the article written by the old Daytona News Journal, Brad Wilson, who covered Bethune Cookman, and that's what he was featuring. But Lynn flipped the football field constantly that day, and Mississippi Valley had a dynamic quarterback by the name of Parnell Dickerson, who was the first African-American football quarterback drafted by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in their initial season, ahead of Doug Williams. And he played phenomenal. We were able to bottle him up and win that football game 21-6 at the Speedway.
Of course, Lynn Thompson, the Vice President for Intercollegiate Athletics at Bethune Cookman, currently the longest tenured AD in the NCAA Division I ranks. Let's see if the call is confirmed. It appears to be. Eric Green with the confirmation. So, excuse me, 14, Jaminta Shaw, not 12, 14 Shaw is disqualified from the game. And as we saw against Howard a couple of weeks ago, Larry, with this occurring in the second half, that will carry over as a suspension into the first half, through the first half, for the Delta Devils' next contest.
No doubt about it. Shaw was the guy early in the ball game who was leading, coming up from his backer position, and Kevis had gotten down on the ground, and they checked that time. There was no contact. This time they did confirm it. First and 10 Wildcats. At
the 12-yard line of Mississippi Valley State, driving from left to right with the sun shining at the Wildcats' backs. 28-20, Bethune Cookman leads, 5:36 in the third quarter. Williams will be in the gun. Isaac Washington behind him. Francois slot left, Mitchell out wide. Mallard, the tight end, puts his hand in the turf to the right. Jackson receiver right. Now Jackson motions to the left of the formation. Cuts back to the right. The snap to Williams, play fake. He rolls out to the left side, dumps it off to Jackson, incomplete, in and out of his hands at the 11.
Should have been caught that time. Malik looking back. It was a flood route. They had it layered, had a low. He went with the low receiver running the flat route there. We just didn't make the connection. Keepers could have thrown a little bit better ball, but I think in that case Malik could catch that football.
Already 2 touchdown passes for Kevius Williams, who entered this afternoon, leading the MEAC in the 11th in the FCS with 10 touchdown passes. A same formation here for BCU, but the tight end Mallard moves to the left on 2nd down and 10 from the Valley 12-yard line. 4 down linemen, 2 backers in the box for the Delta Devils. As Washington moves to the right of Williams, the Cats continue to turn to the right sideline. And now they're set. This snap. Sweep to the left side. Washington gets to the 10 and tripped up at about the 8-yard line, tackled off the edge.
Yeah, one of the things I've noticed about Isaac, he runs better to me off tackle. When he gets to the edge, for some reason, he's susceptible to being tripped up a lot, but inside the tackles, he's a strong runner, even though he's smallish. He's very, very good on his feet.
A gain of 3 on the play with a tackle by 26, Caleb Brunson. It's 3rd down and 7 to go. 28-20, Bethune Cookman leads under 5 minutes left, third quarter. 2 receivers to the right, tight end receiver on the short side of the field. A high snap, they get it down, give it to the tailback. Wilson runs inside the 5, takes it down right near that first down marker at the 2. Spot is maybe a little bit short, we'll see.
Nolan, I'm just a huge fan of running big backs inside. And we just need to really kind of feature LaDarren a little bit inside, a little bit more for me. I think we're not really going to a guy who can help us down in these areas.
4th and inches to go. Williams in the shotgun, Wilson to his left. Tight end Mallard lines up to the right. This snap, Williams keeps the left side, has to beat one man, runs out to the edge, lowers his shoulder for the pylon. Touchdown, maroon and gold, Akevius Williams on 4th and 1 from 2 yards out.
Well, those are those golden legs, the golden wheels of Akevius Williams. Gets that corner and gets us a touchdown. Much needed right there to answer that touchdown by the Devils of Valley.
6 rushing touchdown scores in 2018 for Akevius Williams, who leads the MEAC and is top 20 in the FCS. Hernandez on for the extra points. The first time the Cats have scored on the right end zone. A loose snap. Francois picks it up, evades a defender at the 15. Francois at the 10, jukes at the 5. He's trying, but he's pushed out of the 2, and the conversion is no good. After the bobbled snap, 4:07 to go in this third quarter, 34-20. Bethune-Cookman has the lead against Mississippi Valley State. We'll come right back to the world's most famous beach after this on ESPN and the Cat Eye Radio Network.
Only Discover has no annual fee on any card.
34-20, Bethune-Cookman leads Mississippi Valley State. As the Pride rocks out at Daytona Stadium, Akevius Williams scores from 2 yards out, his 6th rushing score of 2018, and the Wildcats drive 8 plays for 58 yards. To extend their lead, Giovanni Francis kicks off from left to right, approaches the pigskin, and with his white right cleat sends it flying end over end. Chambers takes to the 5-yard line, the 10, the 15, the 20, jukes to the 22 as he spins off a blocker and leans out to about the 25. The Delta Devils go to work, moving from right to left. 3:59 left in the third quarter.
And finally, the glass is clearing up a little bit now. I can see a little bit, Nolan. I'd have to use the monitor. Good drive that time by Cookman. I think the snap slipped out of Francois' hand. Nothing wrong on the snap, I think. He just didn't get it down. We're back to a 2-score, 2 touchdowns game because they missed their PAT as well.
Marching clouds drift from right to left over the turf at Daytona Stadium. Some went for the exits of the rain. I think some just went back for the tailgates.
I think you're right about that, Warren.
Slot in motion from right to left, a give up the gut. Robinson tries the right side, but Tani Evans rings him down in the backfield.
Looks like it's no gain at all. That's no gain. Right on that 25-yard line.
So leans out for forward progress, 2nd down and 10.
Valley still shuttling people in, coming in this time, number 86, a wide receiver, Morgan Sims. He checks in.
He slots to the left, joining McIntosh. While the receivers out to the right are McElfresh and Harper. Ball at the far right hash. The Delta Devils look to drive from right to left into the setting sun. The snap to Bryan on 3-step drop, pumps right. He steps up, he throws. No, he's sacked and loses the football. And the Delta Devils recover. 16-yard line, sacked off the edge by Todney Evans, back-to-back tackles.
Boy, Todney's coming. Boy, he's really playing on his senior day here for him, his last homecoming in Daytona Stadium, and he is coming off that edge with a vengeance. I didn't know for a second. I thought it might have fallen out of his hand, but he really got whacked that time, and the ball careened backwards.
It's the left tackle, Anthony Phillips, who got beat, that falls in the loose football. And 3rd and a mile to go for the Delta Devils at their own 18, needing to get it out to the 35-yard line. 34-20, Bethune-Cookman leads, nearing 2.5 minutes to go, third quarter. A 4-receiver set. Snap, a 4-man rush. Bryant throws down the middle, jumping catch, made to the 30-yard line, and then he's buried backwards. Trevor Merritt halts the progress of Harper, and it's 4th down and about 5 to go.
Good job of keeping everything in front of you. Long distance play there, 3rd and about 15. They get about 6 of it back, maybe 7 of it back, and we knock them down. They'll be 4th down and about 6-7 yards to go, so they'll punt it away right here.
Reed to punt, Mitchell to return.
His punting has been up and down today. You know, Nolan, he has some good ones, and the last one was a pretty good one, but the previous 2 were very short.
He's averaging just 34.3 yards per punt. Snap and the punt, end over end. Mitchell takes to the 35, jukes, cuts to the right, dances out to the left of the 38, and he's dropped at about the 37-yard line. Not much gain on the return there, and Bethune-Cookman will have the football with 1:42 to go in the third, leading 34-20.
How do we get tangled up in something like that? Looks like there's some exchanges out there on the field, and Laundry comes out. Always the player has their hand up saying, I didn't do anything, and that would be number 28 for us. The transfer from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, out of Osceola, Henry Miller. I think they're going to flag us for something here, pointing that way. do it. I didn't do it. Nobody else does it. I didn't do it.
First and 10 for the Wildcats, a minute 42 to go in the third. BCU now backed up at its own 23-yard line. Will drive from left to right. Three receivers to the right here for Akevius Williams. The shotgun snap. Gives to Jimmy Roberts, sweep to the left side, the 25 to 30. Far side, 35 40. Tiptoes and dragged out of bounds around the 45-yard line. There's a big burst for the senior here out of Volusia County.
Boy, he has some wheels on him. He's got some jets. He almost outran the angle. We had him in the backfield that time. Jimmy came in for one play. Now we're going to bring Ladarian in. They say he stepped out at the 40-yard line, but he was even and just about to be leaving. They just got enough of him to knock him down at about the 40.
First down and 10 for the Wildcats at the 40-yard line, left hash. Three receivers to the right. The snap, Israel, pump fakes, under duress, steps out to the left, being dragged, and he goes down to the 32, loses the football. A fight for the football at the 30-yard line. No call just yet, under a minute to go here in the third quarter, clock running. And Bethune-Cookman hops on the football.
No, and I tell you, we switched quarterbacks there at that time, and David came in and was running for his life back there. Puts us in second and a long situation after that great run by Jimmy.
Second and long after the 10-yard loss. On the far hash still for Israel. Wilson is tailback now. Snap, play, fake. Here's a blitz, and Israel goes down again at the 23-yard line. Sacked on a blitz right up the gut, and it was the defensive end, Garner, bringing him down first.
Whenever you switch quarterbacks, you definitely change the rhythm of your offense. And I think that's what's actually happening right now. We're going to go to the fourth quarter, but I'm not a huge fan of that. I'll be now about that.
We'll start the fourth quarter with a score. Bethune-Cookman 34, Mississippi Valley State 20. Coming back to you from Daytona Beach on the MEAC on ESPN and the Cat Eye Radio Network.
And a 2-year price guarantee, all for just $79.99 per month with a 2-year agreement. And if you order online by October 31st, you'll get a $100 Visa prepaid card. Go to getfiles.com.
34-20 the score as we begin the fourth quarter. Bethune-Cookman leads Mississippi Valley State. The Wildcats have clawed back 28 unanswered in the second quarter. Mississippi Valley State and BCU coming back with an even margin. In that third quarter, the Wildcats are faced with a 3rd and 26 after a pair of sacks against David Israel, who's in for his first series. BCU now try to drive from right to left.
We're a long way to go. This is third and a bus ride to DeLand, Florida. Nothing to play it safe here if you would, not too much risky.
Tana running back to the left is Israel, a quick play fake. Israel dances, now runs out to the right, slips past one Delta Devil, scrambles at the 20, far side of the 25, and runs out of bounds to avoid danger a little shy of the 30.
I'll live with that. Punt the football away if we can and get it out of our own end zone. The only way these guys are really, I think, going to really threaten us big time is if we make mistakes. And don't want to do too much here. Just play field position until you get a chance to get them in a situation where they may turn it over.
Giovanni Francis has punted twice today for 37 yards on average. Booker Chambers, the electric returnman, has been held steady. So he leads the FCS, averaging 28 yards per punt return coming into this game. Francis with a line drive from the right leg, bounces at the 41, takes a high turn at the 30, continues to roll inside the 25, bounces for the Cats inside the 20, rolls at the 17, and downed at the 17-yard line. And we'll come back with the action continuing in the fourth quarter, 34-20. The Wildcats lead the Delta Devils. It's the MEAC on ESPN and the Cat Eye Radio Network.
And this is my Ancestry DNA story.
Now, with 2 times more geographic detail than other DNA tests. Order your kit at AncestryDNA.com.
First and 10, Mississippi Valley State with the sun setting to the Delta Devils back. Mississippi Valley State trails Bethune-Cookman 34-20. First fourth quarter possession for the visitors out of Itabena, Mississippi, 14-16 here in the fourth quarter. Bryant in the shotgun. Booker Chambers slot man motions from right to left. And we've got a stoppage in play, a delay in the backfield.
That's about the fourth one today, third or fourth one today, as you mentioned earlier, Nolan. They're very deliberate, the Delta Devils, about getting that ball snapped.
I believe it'll go down as a procedure, but right there for a delay of game as well. That's now 8 penalties for 73 yards. The snap, designed roll out to the right. Bryant's being chased. He tosses on the run. It's tipped and nearly intercepted. Almost picked off by number 4, Deron Maxwell.
Right there. I mean, if it was a bullet, it might have hit him.
McElfresh, the intended target. And it'll be second down and 15 to go.
Yeah, that was a sprint right, and they flooded that area, and he threw it in between. The best shot at it was by a guy in maroon and gold. He just didn't make the play.
Second and 15 for Bryant. Another 4 receiver set. Tailback to his right. The Cats rush 4. Quarterback power at the middle. Gets to the 15 at the 20. Flag down as Bryant is turned over at the 22-yard line. And another late flag comes in as well.
Looks like in the holding area if I had to take a shot. Waiting to see if the Valley team starts to walk back.
So holding is the call against Mississippi Valley State. 78, I believe, is the call. That's James Lofton, the right tackle, 6'7", 330-pound sophomore.
I tell you, they feed them well out there in Mississippi, but there's no doubt about that.
Now, let me tell you about feeding someone well. Larry Wesley, who was with us here on the broadcast, our analyst, cooked I'm running out of adjectives. Marvelous, delightful, delectable. Had every type of food you can imagine. Cooked to perfection.
I was happy to see you eat.
Second and a mile to go. Chris Fowler in the left. He throws left side, a lofting pass that's caught at the 22-yard line. Almost near the first down marker. It's going to bring up third and short. As he tossed the outside, and the receiver's a little banged up. That's McIntosh, number 8, the senior out of Miami Gardens.
He's a big-time receiver. He's their number 1 receiver. Has been averaging about 7-8 receptions a game. That time we had coverage. I don't know why Bam Laguerre did not make a break on that football, but they're going to stop it right now. The injured player is off the field there, but they're checking him out. He'll be about 3 yards short, Nolan, which has been a big problem for us. We have a team second and third and about 13, 14, maybe 15. We give up big chunks, and they'll be second and now about 5. Ball marked at about the 23-yard line right now while they tend to McIntosh.
And we're going to use this opportunity to update our Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference scoreboard. 13-15, fourth quarter, Bethune-Cookman 34, and Mississippi Valley State 20. And with that, have a look at the standings for those of us on ESPN. It's Howard falling to North Carolina Central 40-35. Chauncey called with a late drive to put the Eagles on top. South Carolina State defeats Morgan State 21-18. Late in the fourth quarter, Florida A&M 10, Norfolk State nothing between a pair of undefeated MEAC teams. So pick it back up, 3rd and 2. The Delta Devil, 25-yard line slot motion. Chambers left to right. They give it a sweep to the right side. He's dropped for a loss at the 26-yard line. Vernon Walker and Todney Evans swing down Henry Isaiah Robinson.
Well, I can tell you right now, Todney's putting his bid in for defensive player of the football game. It's his last game here at the stadium as a grad senior, but he is certainly leaving his play on the field today in an outstanding fashion.
Reed to punt, Mitchell to return as he hangs the white towel over his right hip. Drifts back at the Wildcat 42-yard line. 34-20, Bethune-Cookman leads on homecoming against Mississippi Valley State. The snap to Reed. Cats rush, he gets it off. A low wobbling punt, bounces at the 49. Rolls inside Cat territory, inside the 40, up the numbers, turns inside the 30, on top of the Daytona Beach logo, and it's down at about the 26-yard line. 12:02 left in the fourth quarter. 34-20, Bethune-Cookman leads. We'll be back after this on ESPN and the Cat Eye Radio Network.
We're an end zone dance on your doorstep. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
A beautiful mixture of purple, orange, and that setting sun off to the left encapsulates us here at the world's most famous beach. Homecoming 2018, Bethune-Cookman 34, Mississippi Valley State 20. The Delta Devils got out to a 14-0 lead, 28 unanswered by the Wildcats, each team scoring once in the third quarter. BCU with a football on first down and 10, give it to the left side from its own 26. It's the tailback gaining a little bit, Isaac Washington, number 34. David Israel remains at quarterback for the Wildcats, came in for his first series to conclude the third quarter. No gain in the play. It's second down and 10, maybe lost half a yard.
We got a lot of substitutions in this football game right now for the Wildcats, namely at the quarterback position.
Francois Mitchell receivers to the right, Beauchamp tight end to the right, ball at the left hash. Jackson lone receiver down low. A shotgun snap to Israel. Play fakes, looks near side. Caught by Jackson at the 31-yard line. He's wrapped up, then a couple of Delta Devils push him back towards the 20. Forward progress will make it third and about 5, maybe 6.
We ran a nice little route that time. We play faked in the middle, and David had pressure in his face early, but he got a good throw out to Malik on a spot route and give him about 6 yards. Here we go, 5, 6 yards. We need a first and 10 here, Nolan.
3rd and 6 to go for the Cats, who are 2 of 8 on third downs. A give to the right side. Washington runs into a pair of Delta Devils, and they stop him at the 35-yard line. He's going to be about 2 yards short.
Yeah, we ran off tackle that time with Isaac and didn't get it.
A gain of 4 for the redshirt freshman out of Cape Coral. Giovanni Francis is asked to receive the snap here. 10-20 ticking down in the fourth quarter as the punt unit's on for BCU. The Wildcats lead 34-20. Booker Chambers has been bottled up in the return game thus far. He has yet to take a punt return. He has 3 kick returns averaging 19.3 yards. The snap to Francis. Delta Devils play the return. And a rainbuster here. Chambers lets it go over his shoulder. It lands right at the paint of the end zone and back for a touchback.
That football, folks, travels 66 yards in the air.
Now, how did that compare with Lynn Thompson's debut against Mississippi Valley State?
Well, I tell you, Lynn had a tremendous day punting. We hadn't had a punter probably since my freshman year, and we knew that was a problem. Coach Moore signed Lynn as a quarterback and punter, and boy, did he step in. His punts were so high, he turned every punt over, and they were always coverage kicks. Mm-hmm. He was extremely special, punting it directionally or down the middle of the football field. People who saw him punt often said, well, he was picked up by the Green Bay Packers,
yep.
So that was something. The NFL is looking at you.
Brian back at quarterback, swings it out to Smith, caught at the 15, gets to the 20, and a pair of Wildcats stop him right there. Torian Williams and Ty Peters.
And the other part of that, Nolan, Lynn went on to become a fairly decent quarterback, particularly in his junior and senior year. Played a lot of football at the quarterback position for us. And he's the guy who's actually in the record book as scoring the first points ever recorded in the official Florida Classic. Lynn kicked the field goal in 1977, the first 3 points of the game in Tampa.
So when we have review night?
That's enough of Lynn today. Okay?
I feel like I've got a good get on the first question. Nearing 9 minutes left in the ball game, Mississippi Valley State trails Bethune-Cookman 34-20. Second down and 10 from its own 20, driving left to right, ball near hash. 4 receiver set, the shotgun snap, swing at far side, caught by Chambers at the 19, gets the 25 at the 30, still running, and he's down at the 34-yard line with a 1st and 10 before he is finally stopped by Marquise Hendricks, and then some late laundry makes its way onto the turf.
But we got to make the tackle. Van Laguerre didn't make the tackle, which allowed them to get the first bring some of this back because of a post-possession, post-play foul, dead ball foul is what I'm getting at, because there's some after the play activity going on. Referee's throwing the flag real quick.
I think that's 3 broken tackles. Looking at the replay, Laguerre, James.
Yeah, we were there. We had the play snuck out, but you got to make the tackle.
8:53 remains in the fourth quarter. 34-20, Bethune Cookman leads Mississippi Valley State here at Daytona Stadium. 2 more home games for the Cats after this one, both in MEAC play. October 20th against North Carolina A&T, and November the 8th, Thursday night affair against North Carolina Central. 1st and 10, ball back at the 20-yard line following the 15-yard penalty. 3 receivers to the right and wide side of the formation for Jajaric Bryant. Sims motions to the left. McIntosh is back in. The snap, throw left side, jumping catch made by McIntosh at the 24, where he's scooted out of bounds by Laguerre. Gets about 4 on the play, second down and 6.
Yep, just a quick throw out to the outside. Receiver probably ran about 4 and out, and they hit him right there at the sideline.
Correction, that's 9 Christian Sutton, not 8 McIntosh. So Sutton steps in for his first catch. Snap, Bryant hesitates, runs to the right, finds his way between about 3 Wildcats, and then is twisted for a yard gain to the 25-yard line by big old Troy Wilkins II.
And Troy is he's a big young man out of Miami Northwestern. When he gets his hands on you, boy, he's an awfully strong guy to move at that tackle position.
It's 3rd down and 5 to go for Mississippi Valley State. 34-20, the Wildcats lead, now under 8 minutes left in the ball game. Tight end, 2 receivers to the right. The snap to Bryant. The righty drops back, throws. It's tipped to the line of scrimmage, incomplete. Knocked down by Torian Williams, the defensive end.
The junior out of out of Fort Lauderdale, that time making a nice play, not able to get the quarterback, but gets his hands up and knocks that ball down. And I'll set up a 4th down situation for the Delta Devils.
So Reed is tasked to punt once more. Mitchell looks for a return. He's punted 6 times, averaging 37.5 yards per punt.
That last punt, they said the Wildcats sort of came at him, and he said he got hit. The referee said he did not, and all for naught.
And the kick. Wobbling short. Mitchell waits for a fair catch. Bounces inside the 50. Now inside the 40-yard line and turns inside the 30. It'll be down at the 28. We'll pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Cat Eye Radio Network. Make it. 7:38 to go in the fourth quarter. Bethune Cookman 34, Mississippi Valley State 20. The Wildcats aiming to climb to 500, sitting at 2-3 on the season. Delta Devils in search of their first win at 0-3. The Wildcats will look to milk out this clock and put one in the end zone with a 14-point lead. 2 men in the backfield, but the quarterback Kevius Williams flat motion right to Washington. Pass to Washington over his hands and incomplete at the 22. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Very dangerous play to open up that drive with. It's that flare out to the outside with the 2-man screen to the wide receiver. But now you're sitting at 2nd and 10. You got nothing on 1st and 10, and the whole thing is about staying on schedule. So you're 2nd and long, whether you're trying to get something inside to get 2 or 3 yards.
The next snap will give each team 56 plays in offense, 226 Delta Devil yards, 247 for BCU. The snap. Williams gives on a sweep. Isaac Washington runs over defender and hurdles out of bounds shy of the 35. They'll bring up 3rd and manageable as Washington gains about 7 yards in 2nd down.
To me, that was a great 2nd down play. I'd love to see it on the 1st and 10 because you can probably move this football on the ground as you have some the second half. But here we are, 3rd down again, another possession down. We got to have 3.
132 rushing yards for the Cats thus far. We lead 34-20. The snap to Williams. Play fakes, loses the football. It's picked up by Mississippi Valley State as the Devils advance inside the 20 to the 15 and down at the 10-yard line. 3rd lost fumble by BCU, and it's the Mike linebacker who scoops it up for the Delta Devils, number 58 to Darius Davis.
Well, there's an example of what I'm talking about right there. You know, you a two-score football game, and the only way these guys really have moved the football the second part of this game was with us giving them short fields, and here we are again with a short football field, ball resting at our 10-yard line on a third down and 3, and we turn it over. Just like that, they're in scoring range. We'll see what happens. A lot of football left, 6:31 to go in this football game.
5th fumble by the Wildcats, the 3rd that BCU has lost, both season high in each of those categories. And Mississippi Valley State takes over with 6:31 left in the ball game with a 1st and goal at the 10-yard line. Bryant in the pistol, Robinson is tailback behind him. Tied in, Lovett to the left. Snap. Reverse near side. Chambers at the 15. Cuts up at the 10, and Devin James drops him for a loss of 1 yard on the play. That's that sound, fundamental defense of staying home.
Staying home, and the great job was done by the cornerback that time, staying with his particular man. Elliott Miller did not lose contact with the defender. It was going to be a reverse pass, and the pass was not available, so he had to pull it down and lost a yard.
It's 2nd down and goal to go from the 11. A 4-receiver set for Bryant and the Delta Devil offense. The snap. There's a fade to the right side for McElfresh, and it's knocked down, incomplete. Elliott Miller on the back line of the end zone.
And Elliott played it really, really well. Actually had the best chance to catch the football there. He actually walled the receiver off. They tried to run a fade route into the corner, but the inside defender was Elliott, who had a better shot at the football.
3rd down and goal to go from the 11. Bethune-Cookman 34, Mississippi Valley State 25, 52 left in the 4th quarter as the Delta Devils look to score in the end zone to our right in their green helmets, gray jerseys, gray pants. Cats defending the all-maroons. From the near hash, the snap. Bryant rolls to the wide side, now throws back near side. It's caught by Robinson, the 15, jukes at the 10, and gets to the 8-yard line, and then a whole pack of maroon helmets swarm them up, led by Devin James.
Good job rallying to the football by the Wildcats that time, a throwback situation, and we did not lose containment again. It'll be 4th and goal. Ball resting at about the, they seem like they ought to be able to get a 1st and 10. I'm looking there. I don't see the other yard marker.
Nope, it's going to be 4th down and goal to go from the 7-yard line.
Okay.
The Delta Devils are 2 of 3 on 4th downs thus far. Nearing 5 minutes left in the game, the Wildcats lead 34-20. Bryant's in the shotgun, a 4-receiver set. Movement, he throws it to McElfresh in the back corner of the end zone. The catch is made on a sliding grab with one knee, and it's a one-score ball game as Quinn McElfresh brings it in for the Delta Devils. Touchdown with 5:02 to go, 34-26.
Well, we got a ball game right now, folks, with 5:02 to go. In the football game, the Delta Devils, we're offside. They get the football and on the short field. And they're right in this football game right now with 5 minutes to go in the game.
Bryant tosses the touchdown pass to Quinn McElfresh, his first passing touchdown of 2018, and McElfresh on the receiving end for the 2nd time this year for the senior out of Brainerd, Minnesota.
Did a good job right then. They got it done on 4th and goal.
Snap, hold, the extra point is true. 5:02 left in the game. A one-score game, 34-27. JT's back on the sideline. Let's check in with our sideline reporter. All right, thank you, JT. 34-27, our new score here with 5:02 left in the ball game as the Delta Devils cash in on the 3rd lost fumble by Bethune-Cookman.
Well, we've been our own worst enemy, and all the scores that they've gotten since the 1st quarter have come on short football fields that we've given them, and that's my whole thing. We got to execute. And we're not doing that whether you got your 1st team and 2nd team in. You got to possess the football. That's 10-10's the law right there. You can't turn it over. You certainly don't want to turn over in the red zone in short fields. And we've done that today, giving them that football time and time again. with less than 20 yards or more, or less rather, to go for touchdowns. And so that's what happened just then.
Crewe set to kick off from left to right on your radio dial as the Wildcats send Jimmy Robinson back at the 6-yard line. 5:02 left in this ball game. 34-27. Approaches the pigskin end over end, a shorter kick. Back returning it inside the 20-yard line, cuts out to the 25, out of the 30, at the 35. Here's Walker at the 40, and he's tripped up near midfield. A big return by number 23 for the Cats, Vernon Walker III.
Showed good burst that time. He got to the edge there and actually almost outran the angle. From that standpoint, we get a good kick return and get the football at the 50-yard line. That's not been the issue. The issue the second half has been just fundamental execution and concentration. You cannot put the football on the ground. Cannot turn it over. Now you created a situation with 4 minutes and 54 seconds to go in the game where you got to do something with this football or you give it back to the Devils with a chance to tie or go ahead.
The Wildcats have scored just once here in the second half. Kevius Williams in the shotgun, running back offset to the right is Ladarian Wilson. The snap, looks, throws to Mitchell in the backfield near the sideline. Jukes at the 50 and inside Delta Devil territory at the 45. The gain of 5 on first down through the air.
Spot route right there. Kevius throwing that time hot to hot that time to Kevius Mitchell on the outside. We get a good first down gain of about 7 yards. It was really nice throw and catch there by Kevius and Kevon.
They're called a gain of 6 through the air, second down and 4. His snap, Williams fakes to Wilson, keeps to the right, and he's dropped in the backfield as that edge rusher from the left side turned him back inside, and Williams scoots forward, turned back in by Adam Hamilton, the backer.
If he hands the football off to the running back, folks, he might still be running over to Father Lopez by now, but we didn't give it to him. We pulled it.
It's third down and 5 to go for Bethune-Cookman. The Cats are 2 for 10 on third downs this afternoon, and a big one here, leading 34-27, 3:58 and ticking down in the ball game. Tight end 2 receivers to the right. Mitchell all alone down low. Williams to the snap. He throws right side for Mallard, and it's incomplete at the 40-yard line in tight coverage.
Well, we're going to give it back to the guys from Mississippi right here. Didn't make the connection on third down on about 5. The previous play before that, the second down play, probably should have been the run that Kevius kept. And I think that they caught on to that, and they're playing him to run on the outside right now.
All the momentum with Mississippi Valley State. Booker Chambers awaits the 10-yard line. Giovanni Francis awaits the snap at the 40. 3:48 left in the ball game. Bethune-Cookman 34, Mississippi Valley State 27. On 4th and 5. The snap to Francis. A high punt here, end over end. Chambers waves for the fair catch and reels it in at the hash mark of the 10-yard line. And the Delta Devils will go to work on offense, looking to put together a 90-yard drive to try to tie the ball game.
Yeah, well, they got the football back, and all you can ask for is a chance. They've given themselves a chance because we really have not played well the second half. And, again, a lot of football is about momentum. It's about rhythm. It's about timing. And it's, if you lose it, when you got it, you're rolling. When you lose it, it's hard to kind of get it back. And,
46 yards from Mississippi Valley State in the fourth quarter, Wes, to supplement your point, compared to just 18 for the Wildcats.
That's it.
So here come the Delta Devils looking to move from left to right in their green helmets, gray jerseys, gray pants. The Cats in search of a turnover, and they're all maroons. Bryant, the backup quarterback who got the start today, is in the shotgun. Robinson to the right. Here's the snap. Under pressure, steps out to the left, throws into coverage, incomplete at the 25-yard line. Overthrew his intended target. Kennedy Ndukwe was over the back of Harper, and it's second down and 10.
And the Mississippi Valley coaching staff asking for a penalty over there. That ball was thrown a little high. I couldn't see whether it was contact or not, but no hesitation by the officials in calling no hurt, no harm right there. Second down, now 10. The ball resting at, as you said, no, about the 10-yard line.
Just inside the hash mark near us. Another no huddle for the Mississippi State Delta Devils. Four receiver set, two right, two left of Bryant. The shotgun snap. Cats rush four. There's a dart down the middle. Intercepted! Picked off by the Wildcats inside the 30-yard line. He breaks away Kennedy and Dukeway. Dances to the left side of the 15. And Dukeway at the 10. Runs at the 5. They still can't bring him down. And he's finally pushed out of bounds at the 6-yard line. Well, Kennedy and Dukeway with his another big play, his second huge one.
He's been all over the football field today, really making timely plays, and that one was really, really needed. Came across there and picked it off. The senior from Baltimore really playing well. Now, let's see what we can do on the offensive side. They actually push him out. He was a possessed man, Nolan. Yep. He went from a defender to like a running back, cutting back and breaking tackles, and finally getting it all the way down. Looking at it right there, great catch.
His second pick of the year, intended target was Chambers, and Bryant airmailed him by about 10 yards.
Boy, look at he's showing some moves and hops. And
3:19 left in the ball game, 34-20. The Wildcats lead with a 1st and goal in the end zone to our left at the 6-yard line. Williams in the gun. Isaac Washington offset to the right. Tight end Bochet motions to the left. This snap to Williams. A zone read gives to Washington. Breaks the tackle at the 5. Washington scoots in the end zone. Touchdown, maroon and gold. Isaac Washington takes it in from 5 yards out.
Good job right there. We got the edge set that time, and Isaac kept his balance that time, broke the first tackle, which he was having trouble with a lot today. The first guy was getting him, and that time he broke that tackle and was able to get to the edge, outran the guy to the pylon. There's some chippiness going on down there. We're trying to line up for the extra point, and these guys are, they're back and forth with this scrum here. No call yet. They're trying to just set the ball and play for the extra point. But a lot of chippiness going on late in this football game.
First career score for the redshirt freshman, 5'9", $190, out of Cape Coral High School. 3:14 left in the ball game. Uriel Hernandez looks to make it a 14-point lead. Snap, hold, and his PAT clears the upright. 41-27, Bethune-Cookman leads at home as the Wildcats continue their surge on offense. Came in leading the MEAC in scoring at 36 points per game. They've scored 25 or 35 the last 2 weeks, and Isaac Washington supplants BCU over the 40-point plateau for the second time in 2018.
Yeah, look, a good little run by him that time, set up by Kennedy and Dukeway. Good to see the defense kind of rally us at that particular situation. All set up by that great pump by Giovanni. He hung it up high in the air and got them pinned back in their own territory. And just like they capitalize on us with 2 turnovers to get them 2 touchdowns in the half, we get a TO this time off the pick there, and we bring it back inside of the 10, and Isaac takes it in. Gives you a little more breathing room right now with 3:14. But Nolan, we got to play a lot better than this next week, guy. I can tell you that.
It'll be a 2 o'clock kickoff next Saturday in Orangeburg, South Carolina, against the South Carolina State team that, despite splitting its last 2 games, picks up a big win over Morgan State and had a huge lead at North Carolina A&T the week before.
Yep, they're playing well.
Francis to kick off here at Teasdale football and sends it flying from right to left. A line drive and a deep kick. Drifts the Delta Devils back, and Torrey takes it out 3 yards deep in the end zone. The 5, far side of the 10 to the 15, gets to the 20, and he's twisted from his right side a little shy of the 25-yard line. He's tackled by 51 Curry.
Another great job by Giovanni getting that kick 2 or 3 yards deep, but the Valley Devils have been bringing all these kickoffs back every night. I mean, every time this night, they've been cutting out 2, 3, 4, 5 yards out of that end zone, and that one was no exception, but just a good kick that time by Francis and good coverage by the Wildcats.
This BCU defense has had its moments with a turnover on downs earlier. 2 big turnover plays, a pick 6 by Trevor Merritt, his second interception of the year, and then Kennedy and Dukeway on the previous drive had his second pick of the year, set up the Isaac Washington score. On 1st and 10, far hash inside the 25, the snap. Fowler in a quarterback, lefty unleashes down the right side, intercepted again by the Wildcats. Picked off at the 48-yard line in a celebration for Don Johnson, number 37.
That's that Donald Johnson, a junior out of Jacksonville. Episcopal High School, University Christian, I believe. I'm sorry, and he makes a diving catch. And, all of his guys are coming over. I've watched this kid. He's been one of the practice team players for 2 years, plays hard. Good to see him get in the football game on homecoming and make a pick there. I know he's really excited.
He has been an excellent special teams player. We've called his name numerous times on kickoff and punt coverage. And he swooped in and picked that one up right on top of the turf near midfield, diving out to his left inside the hash line.
He really made a great catch to get that football off the turf as he laid out to get it, as you said, Nola. But so happy for him, and his teammates are thrilled as well as they're giving him all kind of congratulations. And now the dancing starts on the sideline. I don't know what that dance is.
First career pick, 3:02 left in the 41-27. The Cats lead. The shotgun snap to Wilson gives to Ladarian Wilson to the middle at the 20, gets to the 35 at the 30, breaks some more tackles and down to the 25-yard line.
That's a grown man running the football right there. While we don't get it to him more, I have no idea. But he is a load. He is a load, and he should play a big, big factor in the Wildcat fortunes down the stretch.
Takes us under 3 minutes as Akevius Williams lines up in the pistol. And the referees halt the play here.
Did they say for what?
There's a trainer that's come out to attend to a shaken-up Delta Devil.
He's on the ground. He was hit by the pile. I could not see. I saw the trainer run out on the football field, but I did not see the young man on the field. Let me see if I can get his number.
41-27 the score, with Bethune Cookman leading, 2:38 left in the ball game. Mississippi Valley State, despite being last in the FCS in rushing offense and rushing defense, jumped out to a quick 14-0 lead. However, Bethune-Cookman scored 28 unanswered points in the second quarter to take a 2-score lead into halftime, 28-14. The team's even after the third quarter. Delta Devils just made it a 34-27 ball game, but an interception by Kennedy and Duque set up the Wildcats with a 1st and goal. Washington takes it in, and now we've just got a recent interception by Don Johnson. It's this Wildcat D lane. It's made big plays for BCU.
Jeremy Bailey, Jamari Bailey, rather, the safety who was injured on that previous play.
1st and 10. Wilson, the tailback for Williams. He gets it on a handoff, dances in the backfield, now rumbles ahead inside the 25 and leans out to the 21. A gain of 5 on the play.
One of the things that makes Ladarian special at the back, he's a north-south runner. He puts his foot in the ground. He's not going to try to beat you to the edge or swivel, and dance on you. He's going to pound the football. Now we have another Delta Devil down, number 3 this time. Looks like he's cramping up. That would be Darian Staten.
Ladarian Wilson out of St. Cloud, Osceola High School, 2,085 rushing yards as a senior, 28 touchdowns. He had over 5,000 yards in his career. Began his career at the University of Maryland, where he redshirted in 2016. Came to Bethune-Cookman, set out last season. And I know you have been heaping his praises after watching him in practice the year before. You saw him in high school for years. You knew what he could do. And he is added to this depth in the backfield for Bethune-Cookman. An update on the rushing totals for the Wildcats. Isaac Washington leads all rushers, 15 carries for 59 yards in the score. Wilson, 5 carries for 58 yards, averaging 11.6 per pop. Kevius Williams, 12 for 54 in the score. Robinson's carried once for 17. Malik Jackson once for 7 in the score. And David Israel, 3 for negative 13. On 2nd and 5, a sweep to the right for Ladarian Wilson. Wants the edge, cuts at the 20, ducks underneath the defender, and falls forward to the 1st down marker.
Well, that's what he'll get you. He'll get you the tough short yards there. That was a little oversweep that time out of the one-back set there, and timeout being called by someone. Who is that on? Is that the signal timeout? I don't know whether it's Mississippi Valley who would take it.
Well, the spot is actually a half-yard short. It will be 3rd and short for the Wildcats with 1:46 remaining in the ballgame. 41-27, Bethune-Cookman leads Mississippi Valley State. I thought off my naked eye he had made to the 1st down marker, but it appears the ruling was his knee was down a bit short. So it'll be 3rd and inches to go. Needing to get to the 16-yard line, ball at about the 17.
Give it to him again, Nolan. I'm telling you, get stronger as the game goes on. He's a back that reminds me a lot of beast mode. He's a physical running back. You don't like to tackle him. He wears on you. We just got to feature him a little bit more and give him that football inside, because he is a thumper. you know, he's not going to dance, as I said before. He's a load in there, and he gets stronger and stronger. He ran out of the offense, the double slot option that they ran over there, and he was that B-back in that, and he ran it tough all the time.
With Jamaris Tompkins in the sideline and Larry Wesley, Nolan Alexander here with you from Daytona Stadium at the world's most famous beach. Homecoming 2018 for the Wildcats that's seen us weather a rainstorm, a heavy one at halftime. Of course, brought out a pair of beautiful rainbows right near the speedway looking back to our right. Opposite this end zone, the Wildcats are looking to score down to our left. Appreciate you joining us off the Watch ESPN website with the ESPN app and the Cat Eye Radio Network. The shotgun snap to Williams. Gives to the belly of Wilson to the left side. Blocker's head, and Wilson takes a Delta Devil to a ride to the 11. 1st and 10, Bethune-Cookman.
Always leaning forward, always finishing the runoff. That's what you can always expect from a Ladarian. He's going to bring that load in there. Now we sub him out right there, you know, and we come in with Isaac Washington.
1st and 10 at the 11. Cats can get down to the 1 to reset the chains without a score. Two tight ends set to the right, one receiver either side. The snap gives to Washington, who is tripped up in the backfield at the 15-yard line, falls forward to about the 13, and it's for the cornerback, Jonathan Jones, the junior out of DeKalb, Mississippi.
Yeah, Isaac's a smaller back, runs tough, but he's not Ladarian. There's no doubt in my mind about that. He's a good back. He put up big numbers. Under
a minute to go in the ball game, 41-27. Bethune-Cookman leads at home. Wildcats continue to eye down the near sideline, letting this play clock tick down.
Well, I was talking with Coach Sims. He has a tremendous amount of respect for Coach Danzy. Danzy actually played for Darian Hayes, one of our coaches at Jackson State. So they're probably not going to try to run it out.
Yeah, they try to get the snap right before the play clock. We can't see the play clock down the end zone to our left off, and the one to the right hasn't worked, I believe, at all this game. As the flags come flying for a delay of game. So it'll be 2nd and long.
Don't know what that was at all, you know. But, place had a look of what we saw last week at the end of the Savannah State game. And it just said you couldn't.
That was something else.
Yeah, that last one right there was. I don't know.
26 seconds to go. The Wildcats lead the Delta Devils 41-27.
Snap it one more time here.
Ball back at the 19-yard line. Akevius Williams in the shotgun. Gives it to Isaac Washington. Cuts the 15. Washington the 10 at the 5. And he stopped there. A couple yards short of the first-down marker. And that will likely do it here for Homecoming 2018. A happy one for the Wildcats and their fans as Bethune-Cookman defeats Mississippi Valley State 41-27. Once again, that's our final score. Mississippi Valley State 27, Bethune-Cookman 41. For Jamaris Tompkins and Larry Wesley, I'm Nolan Alexander, saying so long from Daytona Beach, Florida. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN and the Cat Eye Radio Network. Post-game coverage coming up on our Cat Eye Radio Network. Oh. Would you mind turning the lights on over there?